knew I'd be back for more. Cold hands, hot cheeks, in the hallway glow. A stranger yelling, shoot from the row. I kept score on a folded receipt. Saw my name in the bounce of the seats. You laughed like I've been here before. Then I knew, yeah, I knew for sure. Now my heart runs there every time you call. One small spark turns into it all. I'm back for more. I'm back for more. Same old roar. I'm back for more. You call, I run. You smile, I fall. I'm back for more. Through it all. Oh. Now I know the plays by the way they bend. Know the look when the season leans. Got a worn-out jacket on the backseat now, in a secret grin I wear out loud. You still ask why I care this much, like it's just a game, just luck. But I saw my life in that opening tip. One quick move and I was in it. Now my heart runs there every time you call. One small spark turns into it all. I'm back for more. I'm back for more. Same old roar. I'm back for more. You call, I run. You smile, I fall. I'm back for more. Through it all. Oh. Maybe I can't explain it right. Maybe that's the whole damn truth. Some things at once then stay, like a name carved through. I'm back for more. I'm back for more. Same old roar. I'm back for more. You call, I run. You smile, I fall. I'm back for more. Through it all. Oh.
You ever try to explain this to someone and they just don't get it?
First game I watched, didn't know the score. Just knew I'd be back for more. Cold hands, hot cheeks, in the hallway glow. A stranger yelling, shoot from the row. I kept score on a folded receipt. Saw my name.
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air. Feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. We rise again. We rise again. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. This is our name. This is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame. Just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air.
I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the home. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Yeah. Ooh. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stays even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Yes, we do not have a lot to talk about, but we have two important items lined up to talk about, and they are Chelsea's pursuit of a new manager and also the Chelsea's new deal with Roc Nation, known as Jay-Z's company. For me, it's a huge deal because I believe we'll be making a lot of money from there, covering for the lack of shirt sponsor that we haven't had for a while. But that's by the way, I do hope you're all doing well. And I can say, I don't know whether, okay, it says offline right now. Oh, Ben, whether that's how you pronounce his name or not, I'm not too sure. But that's by the way, we have just two items, as I've told you already. But here's the thing, you do not have to worry because you know how we operate here. We will talk a lot about those two items we have to talk about. We have lined up to talk about, so do not worry. But more importantly, I do hope you're doing well. And as usual, because we keep it interactive here, I'm going to go stop by and say hello to those of you who are already in the chat here. And I sincerely do apologize for my camera flickering. I'm not sure what the issue is. Maybe I need a new, I don't think I need a new one because I have to maybe switch it up. But let's see, maybe more light will help. But that's by the way, yeah, let's go. Let's go, people. Let's go. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who will be interested in the topics we have lined up. And I have my bro here in my Bass 05, aka MB05. Nice to see you. Yeah, I get that. Okay, now we have a live quiz going on. Live quiz that if you are able to top the leadership table for 1 month, 100 quiz questions every week for 4 weeks, then you get to win a custom Chelsea kit. It has started already. The link is pinned at the very top of the chat window. Go ahead, sign up, and it lives on our web app, chelseaperspective.com. Click live quiz, join, participate. A lot of fun, actually. It says here's a link to join the live quiz and get a chance to win a custom Chelsea kit. The link is there, so go take a look at it. And big up to you, and up big to you too, Ty. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Whether you're stopping by to say hello, still appreciate that. Hello to you too, Jeremy. I appreciate you. Cannot thank you enough. And we have Gary Sidu, hello, and here with facts and truths. Let's hear you, Gary. Hit us with them. It looks like I'm going to struggle quite a lot with my camera today. It is blinking, which I don't like, and I'm not sure how to sort that problem out. Maybe mute the camera. Let me see whether that fixes it and come back to it. I think I'm going to toggle the visibility of the camera. He says that today you didn't snooze the timer. I didn't want to snooze the timer. You guys, I know you guys don't like it. Usually sometimes I make it 5 minutes. It depends on how ready I am. But the time, you can say the intro length, I think it was shortened quite a lot. But because I have a lot going on these days and my in-laws aren't around to help, that makes things a little bit difficult for me. But very soon that will be all settled. We'll be having the Blue Morning Show and then the News Roundup show. All right, Chelsea need to beat City. I think we can. Will we? I don't know. That's the question for the players and the manager to answer on the day. I think we're capable of beating them. We have a good enough squad that can beat them anytime, any day. We've watched teams of lesser quality beat them this season. So yeah, we can beat them. The question now is, are we going to beat them? We'll find out. All right. I hope so. João Pedro to Barcelona would suit them, but João Pedro to Barcelona isn't going to happen. Maybe later in a few years' time, like 5 years or 4 years' time, it's not going to happen now. Even if he wants to, it's not going to happen. They cannot afford him. But I think what they're doing, they're not necessarily testing the waters. They're just, you can say, setting the foundation. They want him in the future, and they know they're not going to be able to get him right now. It's really as simple as that. My bro is in the house. Drew, nice to see you. Drew says, Jean-Michel Obi on Southampton spying incident. Back in our day, you beat teams on the pitch, not by trying to watch their training sessions. I think it's not okay, really. It's not okay. But I don't think it makes sense for the FA to punish them by, stripping them of their right to participate in the playoffs. It just wouldn't make sense. Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense. Even back in the day that Mikael was talking about, things like that did happen. I can't quite remember which ones in particular, but I do remember things like that happened in the past. Yeah. If the stories are true, it just shows how much pressure there is in football now. A lot, because a lot of money is involved. Yeah, either you win or you're in trouble. Either, let's just simplify the language, either you get results or you're in serious trouble. It's really as simple as that. Yeah. Let's see. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Once again, I will inform you the link to the live quiz is pinned at the very top. You can go. It's easy. It's free to participate. It will run for 1 month. Each week, for every 10 days, you get 10 new questions. 100 new questions to complete in 10 days. If you don't complete it in 10 days, that particular quiz will be locked. And if you top the leadership board after 1 month, you get to win a custom Chelsea kit with your name on the back, or you get the cash equivalent. And the rules are you must invite 10 people, and the invite link is there on the quiz window. You can also go, you don't have to go, you can say knock out the entire 100 question at a go. You can go 10 and then pause it and come back later. Okay? But that's, by the way, give me a second here. All right, let's see. Yeah, Enzo Fernandez probably going to Madrid, and João Pedro Barca. You don't know Chelsea. The only reason I feel like Enzo might leave, not certain, is that I don't think Madrid might want to. The new president after the election has the election taken place already, but the president who melts down, you can say who had the meltdown in last how many days ago, he might want to sign him just to please the fans, but it would take a lot to convince Chelsea to sell him. Maybe because of his behavior a month ago or so, Chelsea might be open to selling him. Not down to the fact that you can't just force Chelsea to sell him, but because you can say basically he's added himself to the category of players who Chelsea wouldn't mind selling. But he wasn't in that category before. His behavior, you could argue, he dragged himself into that category probably because maybe he felt like, you know what, it's time to leave Chelsea. But it's not going to be as simple as a lot of people make it out to be. It would take a lot to convince Chelsea to sell him. You know, João Pedro going to Barcelona not in 4 years' time. Not maybe. Let me just stick with 3 years' time. It's not going to happen now. But as I've said, they're laying the foundation. But I don't think they're actually going to get him. Even if 3 years time, they're not going to get him on the cheap, because I think very soon Chelsea will give him a renew again. Will give him an improved contract. Yeah. Everyone looking for an edge instead of trusting their players. Yeah. Who is leading the quiz test now? I'm going to share the window in a bit. I'm going to share it in a bit so we can see who's leading. I think I think it's you, Jeremy. I think you're the one leading with 28,000 points plus. Yes, someone was trying to be James Bond and got caught by Southampton. It's really funny. It's really funny, yeah. A lot of money is involved, so people do whatever it takes to win these days. Bless up to you too, O'Shane Black. Nice to see you. Miji, height brother. I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. A lot of issues to dissect tonight. Okay, it looks like you brought some yourself, because we have just two important issues. Chelsea's new deal with Roc Nation, Jay-Z's Roc Nation, to be more specific there, and then reports suggesting, you could argue, when you look at those reports, you'd conclude that, Xabi Alonso will definitely become our next manager, and it won't be long. What's your opinion on Cloud AI? Much better than East AI should get them a strategic partner. I don't know. I've seen Cloud, but I haven't used it that much. Just when I heard about it was when they had issues with Pentagon. I said, okay, I didn't even know it existed, because I like Gemini and OpenAI, I use both. But yeah, I had to go try it out. Apparently, again, even if you ask Claude himself, he would tell you there are things he can do better than the other two that I mentioned, and vice versa. Yeah, very sincere, really. Kylian Mbappe holiday in Italy with who? I had the club's permission, and I was not the only player to leave Spain. Okay. So he's now rebelling. Some of the main players left out of France, the French national team squad for the World Cup: Eduardo Camavinga, Thuram, okay, Tolisso, Colomwani. Yeah, Colomwani definitely, but Camavinga a bit surprise to me. Junior Kupi Florian. Their names, sorry, I can't pronounce them that well. I don't like this Roc Nation deal. They are trying to get more fans from the US while falling off with the local fans. I think that's just. I'm not sure how to phrase it, but it doesn't matter. It's Chelsea will still be Chelsea, irrespective of whether the entire population of the United States starts supporting Chelsea. It doesn't change anything. It will still be the entity that it has always been. The question is, when are we going to start winning and winning consistently? If you get the point. So I don't think it doesn't really matter to me, and that's my opinion, honestly. But you're entitled to see it the way you see it. Real Madrid should stand behind Mbappe and get rid of Vinny and Bellingham. That's your opinion. I'd say Mbappe is actually the more problematic of the two of the names you've mentioned. He's the one with the prima donna. I'm not sure how else to phrase it, but you get the gist. Breaking news: Carlo Ancelotti and signs a new long-term deal with Brazil to lead the how do you pronounce that? The Brazilian national team to the next 2 World Cups. Ancelotti puts pen to paper on a deal that will last until 2030. A good one. Roc Nation represents their Monday. Yeah, interesting one there. When I saw that, my response was interesting. Yeah, Mbappe and his story. Right now, we'll be we're already on the presentation window. Time to go news hunting. Let's see what's out there. You said this time we prefer doing a news hunting because there aren't too many stuff out there to discuss. So we go news hunting and see what interests us. And when we come across one, we take our time to dissect and analyze and try to come to a sensible conclusion. And I have my bro on the panel with me, Vic. Why aren't you sleeping? But since you're here, welcome to the panel. How are you doing? All right. It looks like it's going to take him a few seconds, a bit to unmute his microphone. When he's ready to speak, I'll let him speak. I am surprised France didn't take Krupi as a different striker profile, especially when Ekitike is injured. We'll see. All right, now, Chelsea time. The first item, of course, Vince's timeline, my bro. I trust him. This is, they're quoting Pep Guardiola here. So, Pep says, there's an FA Cup final, but after Bournemouth, Chelsea have been all week at home training and preparing. I don't like this. Why is he complaining? Even though they're in a much better form than we are. So it just that I don't want to say I see this as him being concerned that we could actually surprise the world and beat them. I don't want to go to that extent, but this is for me to some extent unprofessional from him. Maybe he's playing a mind game or something like that. We have to travel to London. They will be at home with their wife and kids. I think we did address this yesterday, but not on Vince's page. So that is fatigue. And I have full confidence in the whole squad. So just go with the latter part of your comment. Why are you complaining? If you have full confidence in the squad, why is it an issue that Chelsea players, we've had the opportunity to rest more than you do? It's nothing. It's nothing new in the Premier League. So just stop complaining. He's not here. Maybe he's still at work. All right. We've heard a lot. Barcelona, we've heard before that Chelsea are looking to sell João Pedro, and I'm quite sure they've heard that. You can say, what's his name? Deco, not respecting Chelsea, even though he played for Chelsea. But he doesn't behave like he respects the club. He doesn't speak about, you can say, about our player as if he has any measure of respect for us. He speaks about their interest in the player openly, which for me, to some extent, again, Chelsea has every right to ask them to stop, but we haven't done that. But listen now. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea have no intention to let João Pedro leave the club this summer. Or even next summer, I don't think it's going to happen. Chelsea believe that the new project, or maybe the restart, has to start with João Pedro as a crucial part of it. It's really that simple. I think they're going to keep pushing. And as I've said, they know they cannot afford him. They're broke. That's why people call them broke now. They cannot afford João Pedro. If they come now, even if they turn his head, Chelsea would tell them at least 150, and I don't think they will pay that. Chelsea probably will mention 200 million pounds because they like the player. Except if he pushes the leave, then they can get him a little bit cheaper than 200 million pounds. They cannot afford him. They know that. And as I've said, maybe they're just laying the foundation to come back in a few years and yeah, you know we like you. We've followed your progress since your day at Brighton and yada yada. Even after you joined Chelsea, we still made it clear that yeah, all that nonsense, it's not gonna happen. And Chelsea fans are not worried actually. Yeah. Perhaps playing mind games to make Chelsea complacent. I think that's the most accurate way to phrase it. Yeah, I think that's the case. He's a very, I respect him quite a lot, but yeah, clearly that's mind game. All right, report Xabi Alonso wants assurance from Chelsea after being burned by his experience at Real Madrid. He was sacked 7 months into a 3-year deal. Was he sacked? I think he walked. But I don't work for Real Madrid, but let's see. João Pedro is too important, but it also depends if money comes in for him. Barcelona is unlikely. But he will be sought after by other clubs. If you're a good player, you're a good player. But I think, given the length of the contract he signed, I don't know. You could say you'd have to spend something or extraordinary to secure his signature from Chelsea. Because the truth remains, I think we'll become much better come next season. We'll sign a lot of good players in the summer. We'll be a much better team under Xabi Alonso, assuming we succeed in securing his signature and he becomes our manager. What changes everything is if by, say, in two seasons he wants to leave, then that makes it difficult for Chelsea. That will make it difficult for Chelsea to keep him, because you wouldn't want to keep a player that isn't happy. It's really that simple. Barca is a broke club, so they cannot just look away. Let's see what happens. That is just a tactic from Pep, playing mind games. We're not fools to believe they have a lot at hand. Guardiola is back in. Some players missed and rested versus Palace, and definitely will start against us. Here's the thing: they have a very deep squad. Irrespective of who starts. I think it'd be accurate to say they'd still be way better than us, because yeah, they've been together for a while now. Bluco loves money, but considering what the clubs are going through, I doubt they'd sell him. I don't think they will sell him. However, we have a very decent striker in the lab who they can get. Yeah, they can get him. We will add Guy as well. Yeah, or maybe they should try their luck with Darwin Núñez. I think he's available now, but that's by the way. All right, João Pedro for me isn't going anywhere. I'm not sure where they're getting all that from. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topic we have lined up here. All right, what else do we have? I want to share the quiz window, the live quiz window, to show you who's leading. Give me 1 second here. I think Jeremy is the one leading. I paused mine because I was hosting the show at the same time, but probably not going to catch up with them. Even if I tried to continue, even if I had continued, I don't think I'd catch up to them. Give me 1 sec here. Let me do this quickly. I'll come back to interacting with you. All right, let me see. Yep. We have only 3 people there. It is me. Okay, the 3 people there is okay. Barosh is. Oh, you overtook Jeremy. Barosh is at 60,088 points. Jeremy is now at 48,741 points, and I am still at 7,000 plus. yeah, if I had I continued, I think I'll be better, but I don't think I'll be able to catch up with you too. So if you want to join the quiz and get a chance to win a custom Chelsea kit, the link is pinned at the top of live chat. Click through it, or you can scan the barcode on the screen. But I'm not going to leave that for long there because I have a show to host. But find the link at the top of pinned at the top of the live chat window. Join. You get a chance to win a custom Chelsea kit. So this is a commentary right now. I think we will be addressing some of the stuff we come across as we scroll down Vincent's timeline. Andreas Santos says Estevao is different. When I saw him in the Academy of Palmeiras, I told my wife, wow, this guy is different because his confidence, how he does everything with perfection, how he scores goals, how he goes 1v1. So I think this personality that Estevao has is important. And more importantly, I think he's a humble kid. Doesn't joke around with his belief. He's a Christian, to be more specific there. And I think his humility will open a lot of doors for me. Already done that already. I think he will go places with his humility. Yeah. I like him a lot. All right, let's see. What else do we have? I love Man City's rebuilding project, but Chelsea wouldn't be far behind them if Luko learned. That is, if they keep their promise of signing more experienced players, and also if they hire Xabi Alonso, I think, will be a force to reckon with come 26-27 season. Honestly. I am here. Okay. Vic, looks like you didn't have a good connection. All right, you don't, maybe. All right, let's see. Mike Mayor again. Chelsea have gathered information about Mike Mayor again. Do we really need him? I get it. A lot of Chelsea fans will need him, but it's important. I'd like you to go take your time, compare his performances in recent months to that of, you could say, Robert Sanchez. He's not that better than Sanchez. I think Sanchez is actually currently better than him. But I wouldn't mind us having him and Sanchez and both competing. I think will go a long way for us. But I don't think he's better than Sanchez right now. And that's my opinion. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? How did you do it, mate? I don't think he Googled the answers. He couldn't. You cannot, because each question is timed 20 seconds. Yeah. Each question, it's stays on your screen for 20 seconds, each question. So if you waste time trying to Google it, you can, and you cannot pause it. So the pausing, you save and exit. You can pause it and still stay on the window to read what you have on the screen, and you can say Google it. You just cannot. Yeah. All right. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I sincerely do apologize. My camera is still acting up. All right. Network is bad. I prefer Sanchez to this guy. Honestly, I don't think I wouldn't say he's regressed, but I don't think he's not that Mayor anymore. Sanchez is much better, and if we're bringing back what's his name, Pendas, to come compete with Sanchez, why sign him? I don't think he'd be open. He probably wouldn't be open to coming to Chelsea right now, and that's just my opinion. Maybe he will, but I don't know. O'Shane Black says Bluco had the chance to sign Mike Mayer, but they keep. I'm happy we didn't sign him at the time, because had we succeeded in securing his signature, chances are he'd bench Robert Sanchez, who was actually brilliant for us, because he would have been probably part of our Club World Cup squad. And I know we're speaking in hindsight now. Chances are he would have taken Sanchez's place, and he's not as good as Sanchez. Sanchez, for me, is a much better goalkeeper, especially in the Premier League, where goalkeepers' high claim numbers are very important, or very you can say critical, if you prefer. Because I don't think he's good at dominating his box. He's excellent with his feet. You can argue that was actually one of the main reasons why we were pushing to get the deal across the line at the time. It wasn't, chances that we weren't really pushing to sign him because we wanted him to replace Sanchez, maybe just to compete with Sanchez or to have another experienced goalkeeper. Should anything happen to Sanchez, would have a capable hand coming. You can say, come grab the sticks for us and still do well. I don't think we're pushing to sign him because we feel like he's a much better goalkeeper than Sanchez. No, I'd take Sanchez over him, especially in the Premier League. All right, let's see. We need to stick with Pandas and forget Mike. I think we should forget him. But the question is, how are we going to handle you could say, the arrival or the return of Pandas? Especially if we don't have a European assignment. Yeah, if we miss out on, if we don't have any European assignments yesterday or engagements, if we prefer, how are you going to do it? Rotate goalkeepers? Or maybe have one be our cup competition goalkeeper and the other one our Premier League goalkeeper. And the truth remains, if you use Pendas as such, I don't think he'd be content with that. And vice versa. If you use Robert Sanchez as such, I don't think he'd be content with that. So it creates a problem. But if we have European assignment or engagement, then yeah, it'd be easy. Well, I think Pendas, I don't think you can say he'd have a problem being a Premier League goalkeeper, whereas Sanchez guards the sticks for us in Europe, and they can always switch it up. But when it's a cup game versus the Premier League, I think it will create a problem. So if we cannot guarantee playing time for Pendas, I think we'd be better off sending him out alone to a club where he'd play Champions League football or a much bigger club than Strasbourg. But we risk experiencing another Courtois situation. Yeah. All right, let's see. I don't think they will buy him. I will not believe anything. They haven't said anything. This is from Gazzetta IT, an Italian outlet, and the other one I don't know how to pronounce it. There's nothing says there. I think. Listen, I don't believe this, and I think you've done well actually not to believe it. Yeah, there's no way to confirm that this is in fact the case that we're looking to sign him. I don't believe it either. It just doesn't make sense. All right, I'm done with the quiz. Hope you bring up more questions. Guess I rushed out answering all of them yesterday. That's why Wycliffe is outshining me. I need more to challenge me. So yeah, this has to be 10 days. In 10 days' time, this particular quiz will be locked. Yeah, it's still open for those that haven't started. So, and remember, part of the rule is that you have to invite 10 people. And the system records whoever you invite. And that's the way it records the number of people you've invited. So you still, again, to ensure your eligibility. Because if you don't invite people, you're not going to be eligible. Even if you top the table, you emerge, you could say, as a leader at the end of the month. You're not gonna get it. Let's see. I feel bad for Jorgensen. Pendas would need to be the Premier League goalkeeper, considering the way he plays as a better ball player. Europe looks difficult, so I don't know. It's a good issue to have. It's a good issue to have, but I don't think Pendas, you have to go. He has to improve in terms of dominating his box. He's not good. His high claim numbers are poor, and I think it was Bobby that caught a particular incident where he was waiting for the ball to get to him rather than be proactive and go for the ball. And that particular occasion that Bobby referenced on that day, had the opposition player leaped properly, he would have gotten to the ball and headed into the back of the net. So, but that's something that I believe Pendas will learn from experience. Once again, his shot stopping has improved, but but the truth remains he's not good at commanding his box. His high claim numbers aren't good, and it's a critical tool for goalkeepers in the Premier League because of the long balls and what's it called again? And set piece situations. You'd have to be able to come out of your line, stretch your hands, and go for the ball. But that's not something he does consistently. But eventually he will become really good at it because, they say goalkeepers age like fine wine. And I think the older he gets, the more importantly, the more he plays, the better he'd become. But let's see what happens, really. I think his ceiling is high, quite high. I think he will get there eventually. But you're topping by miles of numbers. Look at that. Victor joins. Victor just joined. Victor has 883 points. Ty joins. Ty has 2,884 points. Okay. Let me see what's that. Okay, that's right. And, all right, let's see. Let's go back. We'll come back before the show ends. We will look at okay where you guys are. But Jesus Christ, 60,000. How did you get there? And Jeremy was leading you by nearly 12,000 yesterday. Yeah. I'm just gonna finish mine for the fun of it. I'm quite sure I'm not gonna be able to lead to lead the board. All right, imagine. Okay, this is Vince's opinion here. I like to read his opinion sometimes, but let's keep going. Is this Vince's opinion also? But let's just read this one. It's obvious. I crazily want Alonso at Chelsea. I rate him a lot. I won't lie. For me, he's the top 5 best managers in Europe. We are very lucky he's free, just like Enrique. When we missed him, of course, you cannot tell the future, but one thing is certain: you cannot give someone like Alonso or Fabregas support and the keys to run. Is it cannot? Yeah, to run things with the wealth of their football knowledge and what they have shown as coaches, and expect them to fail. Fabregas still a huge risk for me. Maybe Alonso, give him all the keys. It's not possible unless you don't let them have their way. Football isn't that complicated. Vince, I love you, but don't convince me. Now, in terms of, you could say, hiring a manager, one that hadn't, you could say, that I get it, he's had Premier League experience, but not as a manager. It's still a risk. But I wouldn't say that simply means that, yeah, it's complicated. But it's my opinion anyway. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's still 7:27 p.m. CST for me, and we have just how many likes? 16 likes. I think we can do a lot better than 16 likes. So if you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're back again streaming consistently, and hopefully a lot of our community members will know that we stream on daily basis, but not the 2 shows, more of the evening shows than the blue morning shows. Siaka, South Africa, nice to see you once again. It's been a minute. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. And if you're watching, if you have a family member, a colleague, or a friend who's celebrating their birthday today, let us know. We'd like to pop the fireworks and balloons for them on your behalf. Some representatives of Chelsea players have not been shy in telling us, when contacted privately, that Xabi Alonso would be considered a real cube in the eyes of their clients. So the players love him. And I think it's important that it's coming out that the players, I think it'd be accurate to say, prefer Xabi Alonso over the other names that are being mentioned or linked with the Chelsea job. I think that will send a message to the owners. That's the guy we want. They might not even talk with any member of the hierarchy, But this coming out, I think they see this, they learn that the players prefer Xavi Alonso. And yeah, just as many, you can say, majority of Chelsea fans. I don't want to mention a percentage because, yeah, not be lying because I haven't taken, you can say, I don't have any way to tell the accurate measure. Now, Xavi Alonso, he's been there, seen it all, done it all, more specifically, won it all as a player. And then as a manager, what he did with Bayer Leverkusen, I'm sorry, we're sounding like a broken record right now, but it's because we're telling the truth. The truth don't change. He won the Bundesliga without losing a single game. He won it in style. He won it with a much inferior squad to the Bayern squad, to the Dortmund squad. He won with players not a lot of people knew anything about until it was clear they were going to run away with the Bundesliga. That was when people started paying attention. We're like, what is going on here? And at some point, I thought eventually they're going to lose again. So I digress anyway. Given what he achieved as a player at Liverpool under Rafael Benitez, I think at Madrid, Mourinho, is it just Mourinho? At Bayern Bayern, it was Carlo Ancelotti and also Pep. He's worked under Pep, correct me if I'm wrong. And here's what he didn't do. He didn't just, you could say, adapt the approach of one of the managers he's worked under. He he learned the best of what they do and then developed a system that's a mashup of the best of what Pep does, best of what Ancelotti does, the pragmatism to a certain measure of Jose Mourinho, and it's a unique approach, really. And I hope we get them to put pen to paper for us, but it's looking like it's going to happen, and it's looking like we're open to changing things, or you could say making some adjustments to our model to accommodate a manager who knows, you could say, who the players will respect and trust, because when he speaks, given his achievements as a player, when he during his playing days, the dressing room will listen. Nobody will question whatever he says. But more importantly, as a manager, he's an excellent tactician, really. All right. Siaka says it was my nephew's birthday on the 12th, a few days ago. I didn't know, but okay. That's how many days ago? 2 days ago. Okay, let's just pop the balloon for your nephew. Even though, yeah, it's in what has happened to my camera really? Dang it, I don't like this. That's gonna be difficult to do with my camera, but let me just do it quickly and come back to it. But All right, what's going on? Okay, I'm quite sure you guys can hear me right now. Maybe to see my audio signal. The camera works now. And as I've told you guys, I'm happy that the captain of the community in Constantine Duntu that has joined the conversation, but I'm going to remove this and redo this. Dante, how are you doing? The time to join the conversation this particular evening. But I have to tell the whole world, you have no discipline, my friend.
Yeah, big up, coach. I'm good, thanks. Yes, my discipline is, I told you, I learned from the master. So, yes, I.
You're trying to blame it on me.
Oh, I'm not blaming. I'm just saying you're the best at it usually. So, yeah, I just learned from the best. That's all. Nothing new there. So that's fine. But yeah, I'm good. I hope everyone else is good and yourself. The goat. Call you the goat from now on.
Yeah. I believe everyone else is good. Let me ask you this before. Go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I said all good. I said how did it go with the goat meat? Did it all went well with the goat? Oh, can't hear you, coach. No, you're muted. Can't hear anything.
I wasn't muted. I just had to switch the microphone. I think the better thing would be to change the entire system. It's been 2 years plus. That's usually when I change systems. But go
Now you're
ahead.
back. Yeah.
Your thoughts on the rumors with the nonsense about Barcelona's interest on João Pedro. I think they know they cannot afford him now.
Hmm.
Maybe in a few years after he must have won one trophy or two at Chelsea, he'd be looking to go to Barcelona or Bayern. That's something that's very common with Brazilians and Argentines. But your thoughts right now? Why are they doing that? To some extent, you could argue no respect for Chelsea, even Deco, who was once our player.
Yeah. Look, I think they're a bit desperate to be honest. So you know, they want another striker because they know Lewandowski is kind of, pretty much almost finished. Pretty much, he's quite old now. I think 36, 37, 36, I think he is, or something like that. So he's coming to his end, really, to be honest. So they really need a striker. So they're just they're trying, they want to stay at the top there. So they're really looking at probably a João Pedro. I mean, look, they can inquire, but it doesn't mean anything. I don't think Chelsea will sell. And if João Pedro wants to go there and wants to get sold, well, they're going to have to pay probably a record fee for him if they really want him or something like that. And
Which
I
I don't
don't see
think they
that happening,
will.
like you said. For the price they would have to pay, the contract they would have to give him, do they have money? I think we know they don't really have money either. But winning, recently again and getting back on top and winning and being successful again, that's brought them in a bit of money. So they might have some money stashed away for one big purchase, but I don't see it happening. I don't think they'll, even with that, they probably won't have enough. Like I said, you're dealing with Blueco here. I don't think it's going to be that easy. It's going to take a very, very, very big sum. So I really don't see that happening because they probably wouldn't be able to spend anything else just on that one player only if they do go for him. But does João Pedro want to go? Well, we don't know if he wants to go, if he's interested in going or not. I
Even
mean,
if he
look,
wants to
it's
go, I don't think that would mean would sell him for cheap.
no. Chelsea wouldn't sell him for cheap. He'll be. They'll want way over 100 million, probably even more. I think Chelsea would want a lot more. Why? Because he's basically going to be. I think he's going to be the number 9 for Brazil. Excuse me. So especially if you're going to the World Cup, being the number 9 for Brazil, he's going to get even more publicity and be seen more. And if they do really well, that's going to take the price completely out of order. So I just don't see them doing it, to be honest. It'll be go against the grain what they've been doing recently. So I don't see them paying that much.
Yeah, but you can still hear me now. I think the microphone is working
Yep, I
now.
can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, Ocean Black. I'm not sure what's going on which on your end. I'm gonna also turn out. You can say join with my phone to be sure we're not having a software issue and not know. I still think things are going fine. And Helgi Helgi, because we have one of our hosts here is called Helgi. I think he says it's pronounced Helgi. Helgi, I think Serbian. But Helgi here says, hello, good evening, Juventus supporter here. So I am coming in as a neutral, looking from outside and in. What a mess. I think you have every right to call it a mess right now because in all honesty, that is what it is right now. But I think it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. But yeah, because we could have done things differently and ensure we don't get to this point. You can argue for that reason. Yeah, it is, but I think we'll be fine. We'll take corrective measures in the summer, and I think after that we'll be ready to do things next season. You're gonna thank you. I appreciate that, Helgi. I appreciate you. I think you should be hearing me right now. If you can let me know, but Dante says he could hear me. If he can, I think my microphone is working very well right now. Even if Pedro wants to go, no one would pay the price that Chelsea would want. So it's not going to happen, and I don't think it's going to happen. But I'd say to some extent, uh, uh, Deco is not respecting Chelsea at all. He's not. They cannot even afford Rashford, much less JP. Maybe I wouldn't go by that logic because Rashford isn't a priority for them, then they might throw, you could say, everything they have at signing JP rather than Rashford. So I wouldn't go by the logic of you could say them not being able to afford Rashford. You get my point there, Dante.
Yeah, exactly. Look, like I said, they've because they've been winning as well. You know, they won the La Liga and they're on top at the moment there with the new coach getting a new deal as well. I think they might want to make a statement signing, but because they haven't for a while really, so they probably have a bit of money now. Maybe sort of that 3 year has passed with the books started should start to turn around, then they should be able to probably sign a player like that. So we'll wait and see what happens. But look, would João Pedro be interested? Maybe could turn his head a bit. I mean, if they offer him the starting position, the number 9 shirt, starting position for Barcelona,
A better
well,
salary,
the salary would be probably tripled. So maybe even more than that, actually.
but they
So
can't. I don't think they do much in terms of salary these days. They're always
no,
looking
they do,
for
coach.
free agents.
Lewandowski, for example, I think he's on like 400 or nearly 500, and he's 36. So they can give salaries, no problem. That is not a problem for them. Buying players was a problem because they couldn't actually buy, spend that type of money because of what happened and the books, etc. But that's been 3 years ago now. So I think that's starting to turn now and winning as well in that time. I think that's starting to turn a little bit. So look, they probably have, like I said, to splash the cash. Maybe they might have for a player like João Pedro, but it's going to take a lot for them to do that, especially with Chelsea dealing with Bluco. João Pedro has to be 100% that he doesn't want to be here anymore and he wants to go there. That he first of all he has to say that, because other than that, I don't think they're even discussing it otherwise. And if that happens,
Even at that, I don't think they will sell him for penny.
and like I said, I was gonna say, even if that happens, well, then the next stage is, well, okay, we want 125 million pounds, 150 million pounds for him because he's on a 7 year contract, 8 year contract. You want him, well, you got to pay this much. He's going to be the World Cup, probably the starting striker at the World Cup for Brazil. Well, yeah, you want a Galactico? Here it is. This is how much it costs. Simple as that. And I don't think they'll do that then.
I think Chelsea are probably going to give him a you could say improved contract probably next season.
Yeah, he's in line. Of course, he's in line. He's one of
Yeah,
those that they said that he's probably next on the list this off season to get that as well. So it could even be leaks from his agent, this because they to get the pay rise as well. We don't know. So it could be a lot
yeah,
of
because
stuff
they
happening.
do that. Because
They do that
I
a
heard that
lot.
because the truth remains, I think Barcelona they'll be taking a huge risk speaking publicly about a player that is still contracted to a certain club, that could ruin, you can say, the not so good relationship we already have with
Relationship.
them. If you remember, we wanted, what's his name, Famin Lopez. We did speak about that publicly.
Yeah.
Even, what's his name, Enzo Maresca refused to talk about it. But
Yeah.
there, what's his name, Deco talk speaking about it, the way he's done, for me, that's disrespectful. But go ahead, what you were saying.
You look, they are arrogant, obviously, because they're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they're arrogant. That's how they do their business. And you know, they some of those players, we know players at the top level. Most of them are quite arrogant, and some of them like that because they come after them that way. So yeah, that's just how they do business. Those big clubs, that they don't mind speaking. They don't care because they know either way it's not going to affect the players. Still want to come to them, and it doesn't affect anything. So they're fine in doing that. They don't mind doing that at all.
Yeah. All right. Helgi here says, I totally agree with you. It's not even close to being as bad as people paint it to be. That's just the truth. But it's still a mess. You have so many good players. We have talents. And had we signed one CB or two last summer, I think we'd be better placed in the table, irrespective of how bad our left-hand side has been. I think Chelsea will be one of the surprise next season. That is if we get our man, if we get Xavi to put pen to paper and then make good signings in the summer. Yeah, without a European assignment, who's to say we cannot go for the league? We can, absolutely. Yes, Helgi, thank you for that. And this says that Graham, Lampard, Pochettino, Rosino. I just think the manager appointments have been way off. Not that manager. You can say, you can't blame them for all of the issues, but I think a lot of them have been majority. You can say nearly 80 to 90% of them poor appointments, unfortunately. We should now focus on signing a good backup for Pedro next season. He won't play every game. Let's see what the club does. And he is here. My New York bro in Keishan. Keishan, I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. And keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Also, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're aiming for 30K subscribers, and once we get there, we will do a giveaway of a Chelsea kit. So 2 Chelsea kits that we're going to give away. One, it will be for the person that will win this live quiz in a month's time. Every 10 days we'll release 1 quiz with 100 questions. This one is Eden Hazard's history. Currently, Wycliffe Barosh is leading the table, the leadership board, by 16,000 plus, followed by Tyrone 49,000 plus, followed by Jeremy 48,000 plus, Victor 10,000 plus, me in last place. Because I don't know too much.
I'm not entering anymore, coach. I don't want to win more.
This is a different one. This is a live one.
Yeah. I haven't been to this one yet. I haven't.
Okay,
I haven't
10 days. You have 10 days because after 10 days, this particular one will lock. Another 100 questions will be released 4 times. Then whoever tops the table will get the custom Chelsea kit with their name on the back or the cash equivalent. But you're not allowed to participate in this one, Dante.
I'm not a participant. No, I'm gonna, because if I do, I'll win it again. So I don't want to keep winning. So.
Then the second place person would take it.
Like Arsenal, okay, no problem.
Yeah, you're not allowed to participate. But nice to see you, my bro. Helgi says that the only time you had a good manager, the last few years you had Enzo Maresca. I agree. And surprise, we were good under him. Not a lot of people knew how good he was going to be. Because, his approach was something a lot of people didn't understand. It was boring to a few who didn't understand that he knew we had a lot of issues and had to employ, you could say, a controlled approach, a managed approach, if you prefer. You could say an approach that would mean that we're not going to be risking a lot. We pick and choose when to attack. Okay, if you feel that's the case, okay. For me, not big mistakes. Not a big mistake. We have a good squad. Just make a few signings for him in the summer and it'll be all right. And by the way, I know you mean Xabi, right? Okay, let's see. Who are the candidates except for Alonso? what are the names being floated? Iraola looks like from everything we heard today, it doesn't look like we're considering any other person other than Alonso. Iraola was on the list. Marco Silva was on the list. At some point, we started hearing what's his name, Oliver Glasner. But that's it. They did say that there are some anonymous names that they don't want to mention for reasons we've talked about here. It could be that they're still contracted to countries or maybe to certain clubs, but I don't think we will. I don't think it makes sense to mention any manager to believe that any manager that's contracted to a certain country that will be taking them to the World Cup will be on the list. If in fact they plan to get through with the process in a month's time and announce a manager. It just doesn't make sense. So maybe I think it looks just like it's going to be Xabi Alonso. David Dunstan's talked about it. There are other big name journalists who have also talked about it. All roads point to Xabi Alonso becoming our next manager. I'm not sure how else to phrase it. So I think it's just him at the moment. If he ends up not becoming him, then something must have happened. Maybe they're not open to making a lot of sacrifices to get him to put pen to paper. Barca has won the La Liga title. I don't think they are bankrupt. If they want him, wanting him is another thing, and the other one is getting Chelsea to sell João Pedro to them. It's not going to be that simple. So I think what Chelsea need to do now is just give him a new contract. You could say an improved contract, because I don't think the length of his current contract, will be an issue. They would just make sure that he's well paid and not look elsewhere. Yeah, if we sell JP, we should go for Ryan Bournemouth player. Okay, let's see. What? In what one? What is it saying? Where did this see? Jesus Christ. Marlon, what are you saying there? I don't.
Something from the H place.
Yeah, I don't think I understand. Are you from the H place? A long time ago, I was catfished by a bat. It feels like Xabi Alonso. I'm getting catfished by Bluco. They will sell him a dream and sack him in 6 months. Okay, did they sack Enzo Maresca? Let's see, 3-4-2-1 with Enzo and Caicedo, Cucurella and James Palmer and Nate Gittins and all the names you mentioned. I think he would do well. Let's see. All these Xavi Alonso news just for us to get Iraola. It doesn't look like we'll end up with Iraola. It doesn't look like that, in all honesty, but that's just my opinion anyway. It could still happen. By the way, shout out to the other dude as well. He has a really good and intelligent take. His nonsense. Don't give him credit. I wanted us to look at this. Let me read it first, and again, I will express my opinion and get your opinion. You can hear what you have to say about it. This says that some representatives of Chelsea players have not been shy in telling us, when contacted privately, that Xabi Alonso would be considered a real cube in the eyes of the players. And I'm quite sure the owners would know about this. But what that got me thinking, does the players' preference matter in terms of who the club and you could say and ends up hiring? Does their preference matter? Yeah, let me generalize there.
It matters only if it's quite significant, but if it's only a few players just saying it like that, no, it doesn't matter, to be honest, at all. Players will always going to be going to talk about who the next manager is, and there's always going to be in a dressing room. There's going to be some that like that, some that like that guy, some that like that guy. But yeah, I would be surprised if too many of them talk, to be honest, because that's not really players talk amongst themselves, but they're not going to let that out like that. So I'm not sure where that's coming from, who that's coming from. It's a bit surprising because normally they don't. They are quite professional, of course, at that level, and they know they can't really talk about that and say things like that because that usually can get them in quite in big trouble as well. So yeah, look, I think it's just who knows, someone just probably hearing something and just really, Kieran Gill is the one that reporting that now. Yeah, I don't. He always writes a lot of stuff, not the best usually sometimes. So I'm not gonna take it too much of a grain of salt, that one, to be honest. But and
Dante,
until it
just go
comes
ahead.
from
Just give me a few seconds. Go ahead.
yeah, until it comes from the quote from an actual player, no, yeah, I don't believe it. It's probably just, them hearing from someone a little whisper, and obviously they're gonna put that into news and headlines because that's gonna attract a lot of attention. So yeah, nothing too much to look at there. Yeah, I don't think any player would really say that openly, to be honest, because yeah, that's a big no-no in the dressing room for them to do that. So I don't see that happening at all. Now, Kieran Gill is saying that, yeah, they heard of representatives of a player from representatives of players. So could be, yeah, like I said, one of the agents, something maybe saying that he has a preference, and then obviously they take it that, because that agent backs that guy, well then that player must have said it. So usually that's how it works, but you're not going to get an actual player saying that. They're just not going to do that. They know that that's a bit of a no-no in a dressing room because it's just, yeah, it doesn't look good, and it's just something that professional players, they don't like that getting out, something like that, because that puts a bit of on the character. They don't like things like that getting out. So I'm pretty certain that would not be from a player.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dante. That's why I always like to have you on the panel whenever I move away. I'm not concerned. Ty, here's the thing. We know there's a problem. I tried to fix it yesterday, but I couldn't quite find the board. But here's the thing. Even when it marked it wrong, it still gives you the point. Pay attention while you take the quiz. Even when it marks it wrong and the answer is correct, it gives you the point. The issue is the highlight. The highlight highlights some questions wrong, so I need to fix something so the highlight aligns with the correct answer. Okay? We did address that yesterday. So you're through. Let me see where you are. Okay, Ty is at, close, 57,002, 57 in second place. Okay, all right. But thank you for joining. Let's see what else we have here. Hergi says also, imagine, for example, Enzo could learn from one of the best CMs ever. He could get him to the next level. I think if we hire Alonso, Enzo, if we can, I think he might be inclined to accept, you could say, what we have on the table for him. If the club by now, if the club hasn't maybe decided, what, his behavior unacceptable, let's just move him on. Because you could argue he's basically added himself to the chopping block. That's a small opinion anyway. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? This reads, it's not about believing. You don't believe JP can be sold, but believe we will get Alonso. Yeah, because it makes sense that Alonso isn't employed and Liverpool aren't looking to fire Arne Slot. And the sources of the reports we've addressed that we're looking at to get Alonso to put pen to paper to become our next manager, most of them are trusted sources. How many real, you can say, trusted sources have you seen that says anything that suggests that Chelsea are looking to sell Alonso, to sell João Pedro? It's not about choosing to believe. It's about analyzing the report, seeing whether you can trust the source and whether it makes sense. It's really that simple. Like when the Madrid thing, Enzo was talking naked for Real Madrid I had a bit of back and forth with one of my friends on X. I still call him my friend because, yeah, the only difference is that we disagree on so many things. He thinks Enzo can force the club to sell him. I think, and I said, yeah, he can leave if he wants to leave, but it has to be on Chelsea's terms. And he mentioned something with regards after staying 2 years, the player will have more power. And I told him, even at that, Chelsea will not sell him for cheap. So it's about again, but I don't think JP looks like a player that wants to leave right now. And I think even he did say something to he's not considering that at the moment he's focused on Chelsea. He said that a week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. You don't see a player telling the club that are talking about him to shut up. No, I'm not interested in joining you. This could be, as Dante already said, this could be his agent doing what agents do just to get Chelsea to, if you want to give him an improved contract, you better be quick with it. And he's that good. Um, they did. And sacked him and paid him how much? Maresca walked. You could argue, even if you say mutual consent, he agreed maybe there was something they talked about and both parties didn't agree and he walked. I have never seen anything that said certainly he was sacked. But you can believe whatever you want to believe. But of course, I know I'm not. I just don't want to go beyond that. If you believe he was sacked, okay. But I don't think he was sacked. He walked. And that's my opinion. You're entitled to stick with yours. I'm entitled to stick with mine. Dressing room sources can be accurate and absolute nonsense sometimes. So I never bother giving it energy in general, which makes sense. Yeah, you never know, but there are some things that make more sense. All right, let's see what else we have here. Big up to you too, Julian CFC. Nice to have you here. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. I'm not from there, but okay. He says, "Why are you making deals with the devil?" All right. I hope you go to the H positive place and not the H negative place. They better get it done because Liverpool, who's to say they don't change their mind and snap him up. And I know Yakon, who's in the chat, probably he doesn't want Xavi to come to Chelsea because he's told me, I think he basically said he wants Chelsea to fail because he hates the owners. Reading the news and discussing news is not the same as believing or validating them. I like you already, Helgi. Yep. Reading it, discussing it, coming to a sensible conclusion isn't the same as believing them. My goodness, I have a new friend here. All right, I've heard this song and that's before. We've watched that movie before, yeah, where we had Enrique, who practically was begging for the job, and we chose Pochettino for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they didn't believe Enrique could do it in the Premier League. I don't think there was any other reason because maybe they opted for Pochettino because of his Premier League experience at the time. That might have been the case. We don't know. But I don't regret anything because, yeah, Enzo Maresca won us the Club World Cup and the Conference League is still something and it counts. Sam Kerr will leave as a free agent at the end of the season. What a player, again, she's been for us. Sam Kerr, is it how you pronounce her last name, Dante? She's from your country.
Yeah, Sam Kerr.
Sam Kerr. Obviously, there's a little bit of sadness. It's leaving Chelsea, leaving the club where I've been so long, leaving my teammates, leaving the fans. But when I reflect on my Chelsea career, Johnny, if you prefer, and doing it for the last time, I just feel happy. Happy that it happened. Happy I feel so grateful to have played for this club for 6 years and won as many trophies as we could. Did a lot better under the current the U.S. women's national team. What's his name? What's that woman's name? They said we were getting Osimhen, ended up with Jackson. Was that the time we signed Jackson? No.
I can't remember exactly,
No, no, no.
but Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they actually said we're getting Osman. They never said we're getting Osman.
They
No
saw an
one's.
opportunity and wanted them on loan first, right? Or something to that effect. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're offering a certain salary. We couldn't measure what the Saudis were offering him at the time. We couldn't even measure the salary that his current Turkey club had on the table for him.
No, not even close.
Not
And
even close.
we weren't in a
And
position at that time in the project to do that, really, to be honest, because yeah, none of the players we had were even close to anything like that. And yeah, if, it wasn't gonna, it was never gonna happen. I never believed it was gonna happen. So it was just a lot of news, a lot of publicity, but I never believed for 1 second it was ever gonna happen.
and in all honesty, for me, listen, there's no guarantee he'd do well in the Premier League.
No, there's no guarantee. No,
Compared,
definitely
if
not.
you compare the pace and intensity, all the leagues he's played in, none comes close to the Premier League, and we've been there before.
Well, what I've
But
seen in the
maybe
in the
because he's a
Turkish league.
physical player, he's quick, powerful. Maybe he'd do well, but you just can't tell. I don't regret us not signing him. But go ahead, Dante.
Look, he's done well in the Turkish league where he should be doing well. But what I've seen there is if he gets tackled a little bit too hard, he starts complaining and whinging and carrying on like a child most of the time. So if he comes to the Premier League, that would happen every single minute when he plays in, with the physicality of the league with the defenders. So he could probably, I think he would really struggle in the Premier League with that, in that sense, in my opinion. So yeah, look, it is what it is. A good player. I think it just wasn't the time for him to come that at that time in his career and where we were and where he was. It wasn't. It was never going to happen.
In all honesty, he didn't want to come to us, and that's how I
I
see
don't
it.
think so. No,
Yeah,
no.
he didn't want to come.
Was that me or you, Coach? Are you blocked or is that me? Can't see anything. Can you guys hear me in the chat, or was it just Coachella that's disconnected? Okay, so it is him. All right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I saw his screen froze, and I wasn't sure if it was him or me. He's probably got a connection issue, and he'll probably join back again. Just till he comes back, just looking at. We were talking about the coaches that. Are you back, Coach?
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm trying to get the camera to stop
Yeah,
flickering.
I just wanted to bring up an interesting thing I saw that from the coaches that we were saying from the coaches of the especially some of the World Cup coaches where they did say that they might be someone on the list there. They can't really talk or anything. There could be a couple of candidates on that list. One that I was looking at that I wouldn't mind that I think would do well. He's actually played at Chelsea before. I wonder if you can guess which one that is, Coach. He's played at Chelsea before in his career. He manages a very big team as well, and he's been there for a while. And his contract is finishing up after this World Cup. Any
Currently,
clues? Who?
currently managing a very big team.
Yes, a country. Sorry,
I mean, it's still a team.
a team. Yeah, yeah. So who do you think it is? He's played for Chelsea before.
Who? What country?
He's got a lot of experience. He's more older, more mature, which I like, and I like his style, his system.
Dang it! Who is it that
A
couldn't
bit of
come
a
to mind?
quiz. I'm doing a quiz for you here. Come on, chat. Someone should definitely know this in the chat. Uh, Played for Chelsea, coaches a very big team at the World Cup. His contract's coming to an end. Very, very good coach, in my opinion. He's won a lot.
Club level, won a lot. Club level.
One, I think, yeah, club level and as a player and as a manager, and one at international level as well.
Dang it. Go ahead and then person.
No one's saying nothing.
This
Oh, let
person
me
is
see.
currently coaching a country,
Yes, a very big
and he's
country as
going to the
well.
World Cup.
Yes.
Who is that person?
Come on, people. Can't be that hard.
It cannot be Felipe Luis, because he's not currently coaching the country. It cannot be
Nope.
Fabregas either. Fabregas is currently coaching Como.
Yep, no. No one's coming up with it? Okay. I'll just say it.
Who?
I'll say it now, yeah. If no one... His first name, Didier.
Deschamps?
Correct, yes.
You like Deschamps?
Yeah, he's done very well with France, don't you think?
I mean, he's done well with that, but who wouldn't with the crop of players they have?
Look, he's been there. He's been since 2012 with France. He's been the coach of France. Before that, obviously, Juventus, Marseille, all these one with us as well. He played at Chelsea. He knows the club very well. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Didier Deschamps, to be honest. I think he's done an amazing job with
What do you
France.
really like about his approach?
It's a balanced approach, coach. It's a very balanced approach. He can change it around. He's very balanced. He does it on the as specific of the players and the team that he has. He does it around that. So he's not really a specific one system always. He can change it around. Basically, he puts in place what players he has and to players' strengths, and sometimes keeping it simple like that is really effective. And I think it's worked very well for France because obviously, he won Euros with them, etc. Been to World Cup finals, basically very successful. Not many coaches have been there that long for national teams. He's been there since 2012, I think. He's been there a long time. So, and it's coming to an end at this World Cup. So,
Zidane is waiting in line.
could be Zidane next to him. I don't care who's next, but I'm saying he's one that.
No, I just had to say that because I've heard 1,000 times people mention how about Zidane, and we've also heard that
100%. Yeah.
his priority will be to take over the French national team.
Exactly. He'll probably be the next one. So yeah, so he's coming to an end. So he's got some very good assistants with him there as well. So he's got a very good team around him and he of assistants as well and experienced and played at Chelsea, won at Chelsea. He's an older, more mature, commands a lot of respect for what he's done, obviously. And he's handled those big names very well at France's the egos as well. So he was a very big ego
But
himself.
I don't think we're considering him.
I'm just saying, I just noticed that I saw it on the list and I'm like, hold on, he's actually played for Chelsea. He's got links at Chelsea. He's he was very loved at Chelsea because he won with us cups and also, he's won at Juventus, Marseille when and he won at Juventus as a player. He's won everything basically, as a player and, as a manager, he's won a lot as well. So, yeah, he's a very experienced name with a very good approach, a balanced approach that works very well with bigger names as well. He's very respected as well, which is really good. So I like he's a tough little cookie. He's one of those that like Dennis Wise, like those guys, one of those small guys that was like really, if you remember, very rough, very hard player, no nonsense type of player. So yeah, I really liked how he played, and yeah, I think he's done a great job as a manager. I mean, you can look at his record. He's been successful. So it's an interesting name, that one. I wouldn't mind him, to be honest. I think, like I said, I think that balanced approach can work, and he commands respect. He's done it as a player, and he's done it as a manager. So
you're basically answering the question on the screen, right?
yes, that's if he would become available, and he is available because he said this is the last World Cup for him. So yeah, that would be my pick of experience, and not just that, club experience, international experience. More importantly, he's been at Chelsea, he's won at Chelsea as well. If you go to Stamford Bridge, you see some pictures there of him around the dressing rooms where they have the pictures and stuff. So, he's one I would definitely put up the top there as one of those dark horses that that can become available, that I wouldn't mind at all, to be honest.
But I don't think he's been considered, and the fact that he's the one taking the French national team to the World Cup for me is the factor which made it, you could say, must have made it a no-go area for Chelsea. We're linked to
Yeah.
Bologna. Is it Bologna? Bologna winger. Do you know who that is?
Bologna winger? No, I do not know.
Okay.
No.
All right. Let's see. Fabregas. No, not all those names. I think I've read all that. I said I would take him. Yeah. Go ahead. Rest the points. Let's hear you. A point where you think. Why you think. Uh, uh, why you think Xavi shouldn't join Chelsea? Let's hear you. I wouldn't mind looking at it. At one point, would it be possible to jump onto the stream? Yeah, but you have to hit us up via Twitter. We don't share links in the live chat here. It's led to a lot of issues with some of our friends. Yeah, somebody played X-rated sound while on the panel and got the two channels suspended for a while. No worries if not. No, look. I will allow you. Just hit me up via X. We can share the link with you. So yeah, we allow people. We want more people. We want our viewers to get diversified opinion because here we don't run an echo chamber. That's why we welcome those that want the owners to sell the club today and yesterday, and those that don't want the owners to sell the club. We want. That's why we had people who wanted Maresca fired even before we got to the Club World Cup or mid-season or even a few games into it. We don't run an echo chamber here, so you're welcome. Just hit me up via X and I'll share the link with you there. Can actually add you to the panelist group. At one point, yeah, I think we've addressed that. His name is Rowe. Do you know the person, Dante?
Jeremy Rowe, he's talking about. He's English. Is it?
Oh, I think we've been linked with him for a while now. It's not new.
He's a young English winger. Yeah, I think he's 21 or something like that. 21, 22. I can't remember playing there. He's doing pretty well. He's done pretty well there. Nothing special, as in numbers or over the top, but he's an up and coming young English player doing well there. But yeah, yeah, still a young player, very young player still.
Okay, I think we've talked about how Chelsea, they've made it clear that João Pedro is not for sale this summer and is considered one of their untouchables. Duh. Well, we really, what is, again, do we need to say that in French?
I was
Um,
I was talking on X and I put up a post that I think Chelsea will probably most likely give him the number 9 jersey next season, João Pedro. What do you think?
Sorry?
I think Chelsea will probably give João Pedro the number 9 jersey for next season. What do you
If he
think about
wants
that?
it.
Yeah, if he wants it, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's switch because if he looks like somebody that who's superstitious, always doing the sign of the cross and all that, sign of the crucifix and all that. So
The only
I
reason I
don't.
do say that because when asked before, and even at Brighton interviews, like he said his favorite number 9. That's his number 9. He likes number
Would
9.
you advise him to take it?
I would say no, stay away from it. Maybe, maybe stay away from the 9. We've seen it hasn't been very good for. It's like it's cursed that number 9 jersey, but I can see why that would
Why he
sell a
would
lot of
want it?
jerseys, coach. Commercially, that makes sense commercially. The reason why Cole Palmer switched from 20, even though that's his favorite number, loves it, to 10 because the club, pretty much, commercially that makes sense. You're going to sell a whole heap of jerseys. And I think João Pedro, the number 9 for Brazil, number 9 for Chelsea, I think that makes a lot of sense as well, financially and commercially. And that's his number. He's wore that at Brighton and everywhere. That's his number that he likes. So don't be surprised that they do switch him to the number 9 for next season.
I mean, it's a possibility, but let's see what happens there. And have you followed me on X? Just follow me on X. I'll follow you back. Then I'll send you a message you first. Do we follow each other, Helgi? Do we follow each other? If we follow each other, then I'll message you. Let me see. Where's my X account here?
I think his name sounds familiar. We might be
Not
following
that
him already.
Helgi. I don't think he's the same as that Helgi. Helgi, one of our panelists here.
Yeah, no, not that Helgi. No, no, no. Uh,
Let me see. So I'll do that while you're speaking, Dante. Okay, that's his name. What's his name? Visa, okay, double L, Magella or Magella. Okay, all right. He needs to stay away from from it. He will flop very fast. Who? The row guy? Okay. And Yakon is saying the reason he doesn't want Alonso to take the Chelsea job, first reason Alonso shouldn't join, lack of autonomy and structural control. Okay, you could be accurate. I don't know how to start arguing against that. But lack of autonomy for me, that's a lie, in my opinion.
you can't be a professional coach at the top level and win without having that, unfortunately. So it doesn't quite make sense to me. Oh, looks like Coachila's offline again. And having troubles with that camera. You're muted, Coach. Can't hear you.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'll
I was saying
oh, there you go. Back. Go ahead.
the lack of autonomy thing. I think that's all big account agenda. In my opinion, we've also heard that they don't allow the managers do their jobs to the measure that they make. You can say they pick the lineup, which is absolute horse dung, in my opinion. Maybe I don't know whether when you say lack of autonomy, maybe they don't allow the manager to, you could say, pick the player he wants the club to sign for him or something like that. I'm not sure how else to argue against that. But yes, the second reason, revolving door factor inability to foster stability means the manager's longevity is fairly assured. How many managers have Manchester United have in the past had in the past 5 years? How many at Newcastle United? How many at Liverpool? Liverpool two. That's fair enough. But how many at Real Madrid? These things happen. It's nothing. Revolving door when it comes to manager, it's not something you can say. It's not something you say. It just um, only happens at Chelsea. No, hardly ever these days do managers stay that long. How many are Bayern? You can argue actually the bigger the club, the more that is more likely to happen.
Yeah, because there's pressure. You got to win basically
Yeah.
every game, nearly. Yeah.
So, but I get the point you're trying to make there. I don't think that would be an issue for him. If anything, let me say this. He would see it as an opportunity to prove that to other clubs that might be interested, or maybe his aim, you could say he wants to manage Liverpool sometime in the future. He will see it as an opportunity to come coach in the Premier League and prove that he's capable of doing what he did in the Bundesliga in the Premier League.
Yeah,
But we
I don't
don't
think
know
that would
how
go
he
down
feels
well.
about the job. We don't know whether he sees the job as a stepping stone or as an opportunity to polish his resume. So the revolving door thing, not that much of an issue for managers. They will come sign an agreement and sign that if at certain point, if you fire me and it's not my fault, club will have a clause that will also protect them, and the manager will have a clause that will protect him too. And so whoever fault it is when the parties decide to part way, then yeah, one of them will lose money. So it's not, at least not the revolving door thing, not an issue for me. Not an issue for a lot of managers actually.
No, I think the average uh, per top club is like 2 years max per change. So yeah, change happens a lot at the top level.
It
So
happens.
yeah,
We seen managers sign 7-year contract, get fired next season. Alan Pardew at Newcastle United. Even though Luis Enrique is putting pen to paper now, chances are he'd have a falling out with the hierarchy next season. And then that's it.
well, if he doesn't win the league or the Champions League next season, well, you you know what I mean.
He
That's the
could.
standard he's got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Zinedine Zidane won how many Champions Leagues in a row and then called on his own? What? It could happen. It could be the manager deciding I want to break. Just like I believe Pep, I think he's done that on 2 occasions. I don't know how his departure at Bayern happened. So, but I get where you're coming from. Um, Pedro will flop in the number 9 shirt. That's what I'm talking about. I
okay.
understand that too. KFC. That shows that Julian CFC is an OG here.
Yeah,
Dante.
he
He
listens,
knows.
but he'll post something every now and then that he finds funny, but he just listens mostly. Yes.
Yeah, he listens mostly, but he understands the language. So yeah, indeed, KFC Wi-Fi. So I'm the one now using KFC Wi-Fi, right?
No, 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 no. Julian, I'm KFC. He's McDonald's. Yeah.
All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's still 8:30 p.m. CST. Let's see if there's anything else we can address. Yeah, number 9 isn't cursed. That's a stereotype, and Tammy Abraham did well with the number 9 jersey. It is just a coincidence that many strikers at Chelsea didn't flourish. Yeah, you could argue down to us signing the wrong profile of strikers for the managers at the time. I followed you on X, but okay, I'll still find time to follow you back so that yeah, add you to the get you on the panel as soon as possible. Um, who do you prefer? He's asking. Yakon. Yakon probably would rather we sign a manager that will lose all games and get us relegated. So because to him, it's a sacrifice one that is worth making for a you could say for the betterment of the club.
Yeah.
That new kid is so slick. My goodness, some people don't like it. Helgi. A lot of people actually. I think we're going for Alonso because we have a guy we bought from Liverpool who brought Salah and Mana to Liverpool, who was Liverpool's director, Dave Fallows.
Fellows. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's looking more and more like Alonso will become our manager. And we've heard how Fallows was the one, he's taking charge the process of trying to convince Alonso to put pen to paper to become our next manager. And he's also advised the club to adopt a more defensive approach, stabilize things, and take it from there. So it looks like it's going to happen. And I'm happy, really. But yeah, thank you for that. That was a very good one. So this kit, I really like it. Dante, how about you? Do you like it? I think it's simple. Not so much is going on it, but for me, I like simplicity. And in design, you can say you're always advised to keep it simple, stupid, and when it's that simple, it's usually good. But let's say you Dante.
Yeah, it's that one's it wouldn't be that collar. I think that's could be yeah, it won't be exact. That I don't know where he got it from, to be honest. That one of Justin Rose. Well, he's a golfer that yeah, he supports Chelsea. I know who he is, but surprised they gave it to him to wear that now. That's
Early
interesting.
access, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that they would allow him to wear that because obviously he's on the world stage as a professional golf player. So it doesn't quite look like a full kit because the collar and how loose it is. It's a bit yeah. It might be just more of a. It could be a training slash kit, something else. I don't think it's a. It doesn't look like to me like an actual kit exactly. So anyway, we'll see. But it will be very close to that. Obviously, that's I think that's the point. It will be very very close to that. So yeah, it's clear. I always like the clean looks, and I always like. I love the yellow. Always a bit of yellow with the blue. That's always been my favorite kit. Like my favorite kit, the 20th anniversary Chelsea, the FA Cup win that which they rolled out If you remember the one, that's my favorite kit, always all time kit. So yeah, that's closer to it. Obviously, we had a sponsor back then on it that was kind of blacked out before as well. And we'll see where the Club World Cup badge goes as well, because that would need to be added as well somewhere on there. So that's why I think it's not quite a full kit yet, 100%. It's could be a training top that's very close to it. So yeah, look, it's very nice. I like more simplicity kits like that, and especially with the yellow, it's a very nice touch. I really like it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Sorry, where this Helgi shared his where he shared his.
Follow me as well, Elgi. I'm not sure if I follow. You see my handle there on the screen. You should be able to see my handle. I'm not sure if you can see it on there, Coach. Can you see my handle?
Yeah, I'll send it to him.
You have it up there. Normally you have it on the screen. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
when the
Normally you have.
text isn't displayed, it will show. But I'm trying to find Helgi's handle. He did share it there.
Yeah, he does follow me. I thought so. I knew. Yeah, I knew. I remembered his name. Yeah, he definitely
Okay,
followed
can you
me.
share his handle with me? Or you can share the link to the panel with him. All right, let's see where were we highlighting Helgi's comments here. All right, more likes, people. 19 likes. Let's try and get it to 20 at least. We're not asking too much. We're streaming consistently right now. Hopefully, the community will learn that we stream on a daily basis. Helgi says, "I'm actually really happy that Chelsea finally do the right thing by getting the right choice. I would be excited if I was a blue. I'm excited too because it looks like it's gonna happen, and I think they've had." Uh, Plans in motion to do things differently by hiring Fallows in the first place. And I think eventually he will become the sole sporting director while others take all their responsibilities at the club or maybe sister clubs because, yeah, that's not they mentioned the other day they were hired for a purpose. Reason number three, the current Chelsea squad is exceptionally young and relies on high potential players rather than the experienced established core necessary for immediate success. I think this reflects the fact that you don't believe that we're going to sign more. We're going to start signing more experienced players. That aside, I think these players, for me, they do need one, two, three more experienced players. Not necessarily. It's not necessary to mention departments where I believe we need those, but I think more experience would do us a world of good. And they've promised they're going to sign more experienced players, and the players who actually have, they're maturing but I don't think they're enough. We need to mix them up with a little more experienced players, and that will go a longer. But yeah, I get your point. I'm not. What was I? I respect your opinion, and that's objective. That's an objective point there. The fact that we need more experience, and yeah, and our current squad are very very young, but for me, they've actually matured more than a lot of people give them credit for. But that doesn't mean their maturity is enough to get us to where we want to be.
And a
Um,
Leverkusen coach, Alonso had a young team actually. He only had two experienced players in that squad. The rest were all very quite young, very
and
young.
Xhaka was one of the most experienced players at the time.
Yes, yes. He was one, and I think the keeper. And that's the rest are all were very young. You know, like Words and all the other ones. They're all like early 20s, all of them. So, uh, 23, 24, which is pretty much our base of our squad at the moment as well. So,
Do you
look, he didn't
remember when
have
I
that.
said had Arsenal kept Xhaka, they could have won the league on maybe on two occasions now.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It would have helped definitely, but it is what it is, I guess. Look, they didn't get a bad replacement in Declan Rice. You can't say they got a bad replacement, but uh, yeah, he definitely would have
But
helped as
Xhaka is
well.
different.
He's a different type of player. Yeah, he's not quite the same. Yeah, exactly. It's hindsight now. We don't know 100%. Most likely, they still would have
Honestly,
finished second because it's
I'm
Arsenal.
saying that that would have been the case. Honestly,
I
that's
can't
me.
say no. I can't say that for Arsenal. I can't give him that. I think they'll still finish second even with him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Uh,
say
uh,
that.
uh, all right.
Just because it's Arsenal, I can't say that. That's blasphemy, coach. Come on.
You brought in Turkey. Let's see. Yeah, Dante will share your stuff with me, but we're about to round off in a bit actually. And I follow Chelsea Perspective commented on that a tweet today.
Yeah, I think X is not working very well. I'm not getting anything, and
X can
I
be quirky these days. I've checked
yeah,
already. But I'll add you. I'll find you. We'll
it's
sort it
not
out, bro.
loading. It's not loading very well. X as well. There's a bit of problem. It doesn't matter. Next show. Coachila is doing pretty much every day now, so we'll have plenty of shows. No problem.
All right. Previous failed moves. The club is consistently a chaotic environment where even top managers struggle to implement their visions due to boardroom meddling and a lack of a clear long-term strategy. Okay, but thank you for all the contributions. I think you tried the best you can to speak objectively, but I disagree with some of the stuff you're saying, which are in fact that yeah, they and maybe they're medal, but not to the extent that I've heard a lot of people say suggest that they actually pick the lineup for the manager. Who is there follows? When did we sign him? I think about is it has it been up to 6 months, Dante?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. 4 months, 5 months, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he was former Liverpool's director, right? Sporting director, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he's coming in now. He'll be coming in now at the end of the season. So, yes, he'll be quite. I think he's going to oversee things as well. So they're going to make a couple of changes in that backroom staff because, yeah, I mean they needed all those people before, so that will probably be
But they don't
reduced.
need them now.
No, it'll be reduced a bit this off season. I mean, like I keep saying, that was the plan. We needed all those sporting directors because of the sheer number of volume of ins and outs and business that was done, and we needed those big numbers. Now I think it's gonna start. They're gonna start, reducing those numbers by a couple of
He
people.
saves
So
them money too, or maybe reassign them if they can afford their
reassign. Don't
salaries.
forget, they're
Yeah.
still looking to buy another club. One maybe can go to Strasbourg. They're looking to buy another club, and then a couple of them can go there to the new club as well. So it's a network thing, and that's what they're trying to set up because they're looking at the future, not just now.
All right, more likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 21 likes. You can do a lot better than that. And once again, you can join the quiz. Right now, we have Jeremy has a second entry. It's okay. You're allowed. But the first one is what I would consider. The second one is just you having fun. The first one is the only one that will be considered. All right. Yeah,
Double up.
yeah, but you can join and have a lot more fun with it. So if you want to join, go to chelseaperspective.com, click on live quiz, or you can check the top of the live chat here, the pinned message. Click through the link, sign up if you haven't. Join the quiz. Every 10 days, you get another 100 set of questions to answer on a different player 4 times for 1 month. If you top the table at the end, you get a chance to win a custom Chelsea kit with your name on the back or the cash equivalent. Let's see. Now I am relieved that Chelsea won't entertain any offers for JP. He is the kind of player we should be building this team around. I'm not into building a team around a single player, but you can say I'd stick with this. The kind of player we want at the club. He's got the attitude, the commitment, the fight. Can be physical, excellent really, I would say. Hello, I'm back now. Okay, let's hear you. And what else do you have for us? Let's see. Hello to you too. Aladi Jude Mesole, the CEO of Chelsea FC Jingles. Nice to see you. Appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation, my bro. Bobby says the link isn't working. Can you switch up your browser? Switch up your browser. And X has been quirky of late. And make sure you're looking at the link for today, Bobby. And I can't share a link in the chat here. You know we don't do that. Just refresh, change browser. Maybe that will help. You're making fair points, Yakan, but the way you are talking basically meant that no manager can succeed at Chelsea. Who do you want? I think probably Yakon, the way he speaks and the fact that he's Mineral's disciple, he's probably one of those that called Enzo Maresca championship manager and didn't believe he was going to do well. I can swear that was the case.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, he says that I take great joy whenever Coach levels me directly from his main narrative. I'd rather see this club die and be reborn again than continue with this humiliation. But I understand. Listen, I get your point, but it's not going to happen. Chelsea isn't going to die. If anything, we will heal from the current situation, which, in my opinion, I'd still say a lot of people make it out to be. You could say they're blowing it, making it out to be what it isn't really. It isn't actually all doom and gloom, really.
No,
But
it
that's
just went
my
a bit in
opinion.
the wrong direction because of some, obviously, the managing change, etc. But it can be, how you say, it can be very reborn very quickly next season with Alonso and
Yeah.
some players. Well, you can be reborn extremely quickly. Look at Man United. Where did they finish last
With
season?
just a few changes, yeah. Look at Man
Yeah.
United. Would you? And probably you believe that, but I know a lot of people. Had you asked them a month ago, they wouldn't believe that they will overtake us and be up there.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. They had a horrible season, as in, league wise last. Look with it now. They're back going to be back in the Champions League. They're probably going to strengthen a bit more. The new manager made the difference. So things can turn around very, very quickly. It's just about getting, the next move right. But yeah, this nonsense that, Bluco needs to get it out for us to be good again. Well, no, they've got the right intentions, just haven't executed some things correctly, which can happen, but they've got the right intentions. They want to be successful.
And
Finding
I do believe after the summer, I think we'll be better,
we will be
much,
better.
much
I
better.
think next season we're going to be very good next
Yeah.
season, especially
If we
if,
bring in Alonso,
yep.
and I'll pay attention to our signings. If we sign two good centre backs, or at least one good centre back, and sign one more player for the left hand side. Sign for the 10. Sign, you could say, a 10 that's capable of garnering double digits in terms of assists. I don't want too much go from that 10. Actually, just create for your teammate. I will
Well,
go to the extent of saying, you know what, we're gonna be contending for the title. This season, we've always known that yeah, we're not there. We're not quite there. We knew that, Dante, right?
we did know that. Of course, we knew
We do
that.
know that when that was why when what's his name Banks was saying we could win it, we said no, we're not winning it. We're not quite there, and
We're
that
not
comes
ready
from
yet.
experience. This squad isn't as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. It's just that we made a mistake last summer, and right now, clearly an expensive mistake in my opinion. But that's by the way. But Yakan, yeah, I get your opinion. I respect your opinion, and that's what we do here. We don't have unions here. We have debate. What? Okay, I'll try and DM you, Bobby, directly. Dante, if you're more situated, better
It's not
situated.
working. X is not working. No, it's not.
Okay, X is the issue right now, right?
Yeah, I've tried to load it and it's not working. X is not loading properly because I haven't seen the messages. I'm not seeing the post properly. It's not loading, so
Except
something's
for
wrong with
that
X.
initial moment when it showed.
Yeah.
Okay, but Bobby, I'll try in a bit. Okay, Mod Manor speaking to people there. What is the general view of Chelsea supporters in terms of Alonso information? Majority of the fans want him. We've also tried a poll here. Um, we had a poll here where you can argue 80% plus. I think it was only one person that wanted Iraola. Yeah, 80% plus want Xavi Alonso. So majority of the fans want him. They're excited. I think if we end up not hiring Alonso and bringing Iraola, the fans will not tolerate that. From the onset, I don't think they'd be prepared to support him. He'd have to hit the ground running for them to be on his side. So if we hire Iraola and he falters, they're gonna turn against him.
They already would be against him anyway. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter from the start
exactly.
because they don't want anyway. But just something with just about the Xavi Alonso there with the formation, etc. And you were talking about maybe signing another 10. Well, Xavi Alonso plays with two tens. He doesn't play with wingers. So he plays with two tens, two technical players in behind the striker. So he likes two tens. That's his thing. Very much like Rafinha's formation. Basically the same thing that Rafinha tried to implement. That's Xabi Alonso's preferred formation with wing backs, not wingers, with two wing backs and two tens in behind the striker. So like he had Wirtz at at Leverkusen, etc. So he likes that's his preferred approach and formation, the 3-4-2-1. So that'll be interesting to see again. With our crop of wingers, like we said, who might like I kept saying who might struggle before when Rafinha came in. That Garnacho might struggle a bit with that. Pedro Neto a little bit with that. Gittins a little bit with that. So yeah, I think definitely 100% they will be looking at another number 10 to bring in a signing, especially if Xabi Alonso sign. I think it's inevitable,
A number
really.
10 with the focus on the players, and the players are, you can say, the player in question's creative ability.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Look, Palmer can do it, obviously, 10. I think Esteval can do it, no problem. Those guys can play that role. But there's not too many others that can really play that role, to be honest.
So
That is
in the
probably.
absence of, you can say, Palmer, especially, usually, we are, you can say, we have issues in terms of creating for our front line, mainly.
Yes. So a 10 will be, I think, one of the top of the lists up there. We were already looking at a player like that anyway, in Fermin Lopez from Barcelona. He's a 10. So we were already looking for that already, but I think it's going to go even up higher, another notch if Xabi signs. I'll be gobsmacked if he signs and that's probably the first thing he probably asks for. Obviously the, centre back, but that was his most important position at Leverkusen. Everything worked from there, which that's why he'll work very well with Palmer, but he needs two on the field at the same time. He always had two on the field in that 10 because that's his plays with two tens. So I can see us going for a 10. Yes, Helgi, Yildiz from Juventus would be amazing. That would be the perfect signing if we can do that, but I'm
Didn't
not
he
sure.
sign a new contract, or did he? Did he not?
Yeah, yeah, apparently, but yeah, we could have a release clause, a large one, 100 million or something, but we could probably play it if we really want him. So yeah, he would be ideal. That type of player, like a Nico Paz or a Yildiz, a 10, a proper 10 that can, really. Would Morgan Rogers fit that? He would, yes. Actually, Morgan Rogers would fit that. He would probably play that role pretty well. Just a bit more physical, more of a physical 10 that can do it. A bit different, a bit more rugged, a bit more powerful. He could probably do it, but I would go for someone, like I said, like a Paz or a Yildiz, someone more, even though younger, but much more technical and more of a assist first approach than a more scoring first approach. So yeah, I think he'll definitely look at that. I'll be very surprised if not. And that's why I kept saying
But
about
Morgan
Rafinha.
Rogers isn't that much of a creator.
He's not, but he drives the ball and he shoots really well and he's very strong and powerful. It just gives you another option, yeah, next
But
to a
if the
technical player.
focus is to find a player who can create a lot more, then he shouldn't be our top priority because he doesn't create that much.
Yeah, but Palmer can create quite a lot. He did play with the two. Sometimes he had a more physical 10 next to Wirtz as well at Leverkusen. So that's what I mean. He might not mind that, but still another technical 10 on top of that as well. It's a must. It's a very important position for his style of football. So I think we'll definitely be looking at that if he joins. I think that would be a very high priority.
All right. Thank you for that. I understand, Jeremy. I was just playing with you. Okay. Um, I'm not sure. Yakon is just looking for my trouble right now. I am actually curious what formation he'd go with. Have you answered this already, Dante?
Yeah, it's three
Yeah,
four two one
but
is
look,
his
you talked
preferred.
about the two tens and all that.
Yeah.
How you said, I think you have so many attackers that you should play with a 10. Okay, X 4-2-3-1. Okay, let's see. Cause if you play 4-3-2-1, you have Pedro and Palmer up from off front, and like six players are fighting for the last spot. So I think you need to play 4-2-3-1 to accommodate a lot of players. Okay. If Enzo leaves, I would love to see James partnering Caicedo in the midfield and Gusto turned into a beast by Alonso, assuming he becomes our next manager. I think Gusto would do well in the wing back position.
He would, and
Yeah,
don't think. And
X
don't
isn't working
forget,
for everybody. That's the way this works. It depends on where you are. But I was able to send the link directly to Bobby. Go ahead, Dante. And Julian, because you use all caps, that was why Nightbot timed your message out. Go ahead.
don't forget Quenda's coming in as well, and he's used as a wing back a lot at
And
Sporting.
he's good at it.
Yeah, he's very good at it. So he's used it a lot as that right hand side wing back for Sporting as well in that system. So you got that. Pedro Neto can do that, a more attacking option in that role. We saw him. We saw Rafinha
That's it
trying
quickly. Can
him
you
there.
send me? Can you send me? Helgi's
I haven't got it. I have no messages. Nothing's coming in to my.
Well, Helgi, can you type your stuff? It doesn't work for everybody yet. Sometimes it can be quirky. Can you type your handle again? Go ahead, Dante. Sorry, you were speaking.
Yeah, so I haven't got any message. I just kept looking, but I still haven't received it. Yeah, so Quenda can come do that. Pedro Neto can do the wing backs. We saw Rafinha. That was one of the reasons he
He
probably
was
struggled with.
practically operated as wing back against PSG in the Club World Cup final.
Exactly. Well, he played probably 80% of his game after as a wing back, more of a wing back for Rafinha. So because he was trying to convert him into that as well. So and that's why his numbers went down as well. That was one of the main reasons his numbers went down because he was operating in a different role, a new role, and not more running, but not quite as effective up forward because of it. So that was one of the main reasons his numbers went down. So yeah, look, Quenda will come in. Like I said, on the left hand side, we have Hato and Cucurella. They both can do that role, no problem. So, yeah, look, I think we're pretty good with it. It just depends. The tens, we don't have tens. That's the thing. So,
We don't.
Esteval,
You
like,
can argue all the players we have that have played. You can say fulfilled the 10 role for us. Are usually wingers who are capable of fulfilling the 10 role.
correct. Yep, yep. So, there's no real. The only one is Palmer, but even Palmer was, let's not forget, he was a winger first. He grew
Yeah,
up as
not
a winger.
traditionally a 10. Yeah,
Yeah, more of a winger, but he's good at 10 because he's so technical and he's very good on the ball, so he can do
and
the
he
10
can
no problem.
create. Yeah.
And he can create. Can be selfish at times, but he can create very well as well. So yeah, but we need another one definitely. Then of course the centre backs. If he plays with the back three, well, you need three centre backs basically. So we can probably do that, and we'll definitely need to sign two more to play there as well. So with the outages. So yeah, look, if he goes to his preferred formation, that is it, the 3-4-2-1 with the two wing backs, which I prefer James. I don't want to see James in the midfield. I prefer him to play one of those wing backs, to be honest. I would love to see him out wide, running up and down again. I don't want to hear about fitness and that. He's at a stage in his career, if he can't stay fit, even after the operations, even after being managed so well, well, then maybe he's just, it is what it is, as simple as that. But I want to see him in that wing back role out wide. I think that would really, we know he'll do an amazing job there because he can put the balls in the box, he can whip the balls in across. Him and and Gusto interchanging that role would be very good. So, and Quenda, like I said, can come in and do as well, that as well, a more attacking option. So, yeah, look, the squad will suit him, and even though he plays a 3-4-2-1, it's more of a balanced approach, and it's more of a
Yeah, he's not like you could say just attack just for the sake of
no,
it.
it's not vertical. It's not vertical like Rafinha likes. It's on the floor. It's tiki taka, a lot of passes, close possession. It's a possession based 3-4-2-1. So it's
So
very
in
different
terms of
from
you say in terms of the balanced approach, or you could argue not necessarily a cautious approach, controlled approach, more
controlled. Yeah.
like more like Maresca in that aspect, which is why I mean
Yes.
it makes sense to argue that the squad is more suitable for him.
Correct. Yes. Yes. So that's why it's more suited. He likes little passes, 1, 2, 3, circles, triangles, keep possession a lot, and keep a tight formation, especially out of play as well. He wants a very tight formation in the middle of the field. Everyone kind of stacked in that midfield area where there's no space for opponents to break down. So it's not a low block, it's more of a mid block. But like I said, that midfield area is very tight and blocked. And that's why he struggled at Real Madrid because he had Mbappe, Vinicius, these guys who didn't. He likes his forwards and everyone to come back and be part of that midfield area to defend, to keep it tight spaces.
And those
Mbappe
guys, they
and
thrive mainly
Vinicius.
in transitional approaches.
Yeah, they don't defend. They don't defend at all. So yeah, he had a bit of trouble with that there, obviously. So I think that's what all the trouble was about in the end: the locker room stuff, personalities, not listening to what he really wants to do, and vice versa. So yeah, at Chelsea he can do it 100%. Yeah,
And Colwell, just like Hegi is saying here, would be absolutely perfect as the left-sided CB. I agree.
he'll be the CCB in his formation. He'll be the
He'll
central
be
one.
in the central area, right?
Yes, because his central CCB steps up a little bit and passes the ball around everywhere.
And Colwell has excellent passing range and vision. That's one
Yeah,
thing
so
actually. I listen. I don't trust him that much as from a defensive perspective, but in terms of him ball playing, again, ball playing defenders. Actually, he's one of the best, if not the best. He's the best in our squad in terms of ball playing ability.
yeah, and that'll be because, like I said, how Alonso plays a more condensed midfield area. He'll be a bit more protected because you got the wing backs coming back. You got the back three, and you got wing backs coming back in a left back, right back position as well. So you've got five at the back basically.
So his placement basically in the approach is an illusion.
Pretty much, yeah. He's floating. He's a floating centre back, basically. He's a floating centre back that in between the two, that starts attacks and steps a little bit up and to help with the possession and gives an outlet as well. So he'll be very important. That position is very important for Alonso as well because that guy needs to have a bit of IQ, very good passing range, and also can defend as well. But priority is more the passing a little bit more and distributing an IQ. Colwell still developing that a little bit, but we saw good signs from that. Obviously, the last 3 months before he got injured, we saw really good signs, and he looked very good when he came back on this first game. That was very surprising to see him play that well.
Helgi, you look like the host now because my camera isn't working.
I am the host. Look at me. I am the host now.
Big up, Helgi. Good to see you.
All right,
Big
you
up.
take charge. Where do you want to come in? And I appreciate you, the eagerness to be on the panel. And the moment I sent you the link, boom, you're on the panel. And as a neutral, you're a Juventus fan, you said, right?
Yeah.
And as a neutral, you're very much welcome. I think you can say that will make you say that makes it better actually because you'll be speaking from a neutral perspective. You're not gonna your opinions will not be biased. So whether you want to come in, where we are, you can come in where we are. If you want to speak about the possibility of Xabi becoming our manager, whether you think that will work, let's hear you. And we also have our senior panelist. He's
Yeah.
figured out a way to join us on the panel here. Bobby is with us, even though he should be sleeping right now. But Helgi, let's hear you. Did I pronounce that correctly?
It's perfect.
Thank you.
Helgi.
I feel
Bobby
like
just
a
got from the
genius.
nightclub, coach. He just came back from the nightclub, so he's available.
Let's hear you, Helgi. Where do you want to come in?
Yeah, no. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I was just like on YouTube and just watching, and there was like yeah, it was just interesting to hear because you get so kind of how do you say it, like uh tunnel vision of your own club, like you only discuss your own club, your own problems and your own things, that it was just like funny to hear about, like because you guys have some of the same problems as Juventus as well. I would rather be Chelsea, to put it that way. I know the owners, but like
Really?
Juventus is also fallen off a cliff. Like we have some insanely good players, and we have players that would basically not play, could play in like a championship. There's so much difference in level and
You're
like
not too
no
bad. What are you,
vision.
third? Helgi, you guys are third?
No, I think we're fourth.
Third,
Now
third,
it's
yeah.
like
You are third,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because it was depending on other results, but it's more like the long-term plan. It's not sustainable. But yeah, this isn't the Juventus channel, but yeah, it's just funny to hear other people's opinion, and I watch. I'm almost on the spectrum, I would say, because I just consume a lot of football, like all the leagues. So I watch basically 80% of Chelsea games, I would say, and
Wow.
yeah, I watch soak in as much football in a week that's
Do you have a
humanly
preferred
possible, I think.
team
So
in England or not really?
it's United.
I thought so.
Oh,
I thought it would
Uh,
be.
that just ruined
Unite.
that ruins the excitement, man. But
No,
go ahead.
I like Wolves, West Ham, United, Newcastle. I've always liked. Oh, because of the kit, and the place I'm from is like a little farm in Norway with like 10,000 people, and we
That's
play
why I
with.
thought you would say United because of being Norwegian. Obviously, there's got a history with the Norwegian players as well.
Yes, correct. So it's hard to, but yeah, I've always like. It's impossible not to like Chelsea as well because yeah, I get really drawn emotionally to certain players, and Chelsea kind of randomly has had a lot of players up in the years that I just, yeah, I want them
You liked a lot.
in my veins. Yes, everything I stand and live for. So like Drogba is probably my favorite strike of all time. Um, and yeah, you've had some really nice players, and I loved the Mourinho and Conte era. I love the idea of just being obsessed with winning, firing managers after 1 year, getting in a new, he's winning a trophy. That kind of suits my way of thinking because I hate losing. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I have liked about Chelsea, which I think has kind of fallen down after Tuchel. You were like, I think you were like a really proper team, and we're like, obviously he was fighting against like Klopp and Pep at the time, so it was like hard. But I think you're really building on something, and then you just changed direction, sold 90% of the players, bought in like 20, 12-year-old kids, and just yeah.
Yeah.
But like you say, I think you have a saying in the UK. You say like, if you throw enough mud on the wall, some will stick, and I feel like that may be. I view Chelsea as that as at the moment because you have so many talents, and let's say that only 50% of them work, you still have an insane team because you have a lot of talent. So if only 50% of them work, you still have a. So I think Chelsea for the next 10 years will be some of the best teams in the world. We're just not seeing it right now because they're changing direction. Um,
Would you
but
say the biggest problem? Would you say the biggest problem is lack of balance?
manager.
Manager. Yeah.
Lack of having a
I,
proper
I'm
manager,
not
please.
I'm not usually a fan of like, yeah, let's blame everything on the manager, sack him, fraud, get him out, and then like be delusional. I think that will change everything. But I think from outside looking in, I think that has been kind of the case with Chelsea actually, because yes, players have down tools, yes, they haven't performed as well, but seriously, like if I look again outside or in, and I would see Juventus, we have been like in the mud, right? And if we even consider appointing Potter or Rosinho or something, I would fly to Italy and protest. So you have had some, and Lampard, I like him, but like this is Chelsea. This is like a trial test in Championship. Like, so I just think the manager really actually has been the problem. But I think in a lot of other clubs, it's really easy to just focus everything on the manager. But I think, in my opinion, at least, I think manager, like, if you had a proper manager the last few years, of course you wouldn't have been
Maybe proper.
so up and down.
Maybe if we had a proper manager consistently.
Yeah. And I think Dante made a good point, which I feel like no one really talks about. Like, we always talk about this process, we always talk about longevity, manager, and he said like average is like 2 years. It's probably even below that. And I feel like it's just a fever dream that people have because we're living in the past, and it's easy to think, oh, we want a manager to stay for 10 years and build a pros like that's
That
a fever
hardly ever
dream. Like,
happens these days.
it doesn't.
It
And
doesn't.
it
Even the
happens
best of the best.
the few times that happens is usually at lower clubs or clubs without ambition, or like a Brentford with Thomas Frank or something like
Yeah, it
that.
was
But
Thomas Frank. Yeah.
yeah, but
Because you have
it
to go
usually
through the
doesn't
pain of
happen.
losing first, and that can't happen at a big club normally.
Yes, you don't get the time, and you have Arteta, and I would argue this with anyone, but um, like people say, oh, just give him time like Arteta, or with Carrick at United, like give him time like Arteta, and I'm saying, sorry, I respect you if you're an Arsenal fan or whatever, but you don't get that time in Chelsea or United or City or
You
Liverpool. You
don't.
just don't. You
Oh,
just
Madrid, you
don't.
don't. Bayern, you don't.
You just don't.
You
So
just don't. Yeah.
when people talk about this long project and managers, like, okay, that's cool for your club, but in this club, I'm talking Juventus or Chelsea or whatever, like, you have to perform. Like, sorry, we won't wait for your tactics. We won't wait for a process. Uh, Even if Xabi Alonso does good, he won't stay for 4 years. Something will happen and he will get sacked. This is football now. So you just have to, that's why players now are more important than managers, in my opinion, because the players
You
stay
could argue
on.
that has been the case for a while now.
Yes. So yeah, like I said in the chat, I'm really excited for Chelsea fans if you get
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso, because like, for me as a tactical geek, I'm not like the tacticals on Twitter that thinks I'm right about everything, by the way. But a misconception about him is that he doesn't really have a formation. People think he has a formation, but he really doesn't. It's just it worked so well with Leverkusen and that squad that people think that that's his formation. But
Is he in that aspect? Let me ask you this, Helgi. In that
yeah,
aspect, the same as Maresca, because there was again Chelsea fans that did not really understand Maresca quite well. Some called him a one-trick pony, which we argued at the time that's not the case. There are basics to his approach, which is you could say having one player invert to ensure we have numerical advantage over the opposition at any given time. To them, once they see that, that's it. That's all they know about his approach. They don't know that things
exactly.
are done differently in the attacking area. Very, very fluid approach, by the way. That sometimes you'd have to wait until the end of the game to pay attention to the average positioning of the players to understand. Okay, that was actually the structure we used today. Are you
Exactly.
so? My question is he similar in that aspect to Enzo Maresca in terms of you could say you can never tell how they'll approach a game because his approach is not static. Antonio Conte, maybe his approach is static. If you studied him very well, you'd anticipate where the ball is going to go at any given time because that's how he drills his players. But go ahead with what
Yeah.
you're saying.
No, I think that's a super good point. I'm not the guy to ever say like I'm right, you're wrong, because it's football. It's just opinion. But you have kind of two choices as a manager. You have the managers who are like idealistic, like Ange, or Pep, or someone like that, who they have a plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, you lose. That's their, and I can respect that. And you have those who are more flexible, and then you have haters saying, "Oh, they don't have a philosophy," and stuff like that. Oh, they always change. I think the Pep thing can be done right, and I think the other one can do right. Like there's multiple right answer to one question, but my preference, I would always like. I hate managers who live and die by the sword, because if you really think about it, like, you guys can think now, and guys in the chat, like, what managers in the world, I'm talking 130 years of football or something, what managers in the world have had a plan A, stuck to that, and have been successful? I can think of maybe one, two, three. That's Pep. He didn't change.
Even if they achieve success, it usually doesn't sustain.
No, because your point, they get found out. So
Mhm.
the reason why Pep could play, like, everyone at when he was at Barcelona, everyone knew where were going to play, how they were going to play it, what team they were going to start, and they just beat everyone regardless. But
Even
that's
yeah, because yeah, it's
yeah,
reputation. They're so good at what they do. Even though you know what they're gonna do, you're still not gonna be able to
yeah.
stop them.
But
Yeah.
my point is that's an anomaly, and people are like, everyone wants to be Pep, everyone wants to play out from the back. But I'm just like you say, if you get found out, say Ange is the poster boy for why I'm against it myself. Because if you have a certain philosophy and won't budge from it, imagine us three, uh, um, how do you say it, preparing a game against Tottenham. We would know where they put the ball. We would know everything, and then it's up to them to be even better than us. But I don't like that. So I like that about Xabi Alonso. He wants to win. So some games, for example, Ferguson, away games, Champions League, he would like play fucking Fletcher, O'Shea, and Jisung Park like 4-5-1, kind of park the bus, and then 3 days later play Derby and just start 5-6 attackers and go all in and win 6-0. That's a manager for me, and I see the same kind of in. I'm not comparing Xavi to him, but I'm just saying I think your squad has like, how do you say it? There's a lot to mold with, if you get what I mean.
A lot
Like
of, you can say,
you can
complementary profiles.
start the 4-4-2, you can start the 4-2-3-1, you can start so many formations because you have so many wiggle room, and like Dante said, like don't sleep on Quenda.
No, I trust. I like the kid so much.
Yeah, you guys are going to
You gotta
get
love him.
gonna fall in love with him even quicker than Sydney Sweeney, I promise you.
All right, thank you
But
so
yeah,
much, Helgi. I appreciate you finding the time to join us on the panel. If you're still
yeah.
available, there will be more questions to answer. Were you speaking? Were you still speaking?
What?
Were you still speaking? Or did I
Oh, no,
cut you
no.
off?
No.
Okay, okay. Let's get Bobby's opinion because he should be sleeping. I'm quite sure he has a lot to say, which is why he had to abandon his sleep to come onto the panel to let us know how he feels about a particular situation. Which one I do not know. But Bobby, big up to you. Respect to you for finding the time to join us. Before we try to answer the question on the screen, let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, big up, guys. I only have about 10 minutes now because I do need to sleep, as you said.
You do. It's important.
How was the nightclub, Bobby? Good.
Yeah, it was banging. Listen, where do we start? Somebody was talking about our squad, the guy you had talking earlier.
Helgi.
Yeah, Chelsea don't really have a squad. We've got a lot of weak players. We need to strengthen. We need some physicality. We've got some very good players, but the squad is too thin, too injury prone, and definitely needs revamping. We've got to start going back to the basic principles of two players for every position and ignore some of the content creators that keep telling us to sell players when they're sat on the bench while our opponents has a full first 11 sat on the bench. Xavi Alonso, I don't really know what he is as a manager. I've seen his success with Leverkusen. I kind of glanced over at a bit of his work at Real Madrid, and after that, I don't know. So I'm just going by what people say. He seems very fashionable at the moment, and he looks, from his profile, to be a good fit. I have some reservations, as I said to you the other day, coach. You never know. The taste of the pudding's always in the eating. I want a manager to come to Chelsea and stay 4 years. Wow, that would be a luxury. I don't think we've had that for decades. So it would be nice if he has that longevity. If he has that longevity, it means he has the success. Um, I have reservations in that one. Managing in the Premier League is always a test for anybody. To the Liverpool connection, I don't know how strong it is, but when you're a club legend for one club, you're always going to have that club kind of in the background. However, if
Would
he
it be
comes,
accurate to say you're always going to be loyal to that club?
well, you'll have that club in your heart somewhere. It's like if we really went after Frank Lampard, he'll drop where he is and come to us. It's always going to be there. However, this is Chelsea. And I'm not sure how Liverpool fans will take to him after managing Chelsea, especially if he manages Chelsea successfully. Anyway, I don't want to dwell too much on that. I believe he's professional. I believe if he comes with a commitment. The sporting director or whoever it is that's involved with this appointment has to make it very, very clear and has to do their homework that this isn't a guy that halfway through a season you quarrel with him and kick him out, basically. We don't need that ever again. We need our managers to at least last a season, and he has to prove himself in the Premier League. It's that simple. He's not done it here before.
Let me ask
And
you this, Bobby. With
yeah.
regards to your concern, what sort of, I don't know, I don't have an idea with regards to the sort of clause that clubs would want to insert in the contract to avoid a manager mid-season deciding, okay, buy and get away with it. I think they'll probably insert some clause. How do you think that would be structured to maybe deter Alonso or any other manager from just quitting the net? You could say leaving them dry, or maybe uh, leaving the project mid-season, or maybe after a season, causing a lot of problems. Just like the Enzo Maresca experience. What sort of clause do you think they insert in the contract to avoid that?
Well, the small print in the contract may contain something like, if you're successful and the club wants to retain your services and you agree for your services to be retained at the start of the season, you see the season through. However, I don't know what the Maresca situation was. All I know is that uh, man management comes into it. The sporting directors, I think they mismanaged him. You cannot, when a manager has qualified you clearly for the Champions League, completed the set of European trophies, and won you the Maiden Club World Cup in the new format, bringing you over £80 million in prize money, you can give him a couple of defenders he wants. So all this antagonistic stance that the sporting directors take for the sake of the project has to go. You've got to work with your manager, or you go. I would like to see one of their heads roll next, rather than the manager always having to carry the can. So it's just that I hope this Liverpool guy is the kind of guy that will work with his manager, with his coach. If he is, then he should be the sporting director, and the other three Charlies we've got, they can go off to either Strasbourg or wherever else they've got for them to work in Chelsea and stay away from the first team football. That's just my attitude to it all. Look, Xavi Alonso is very fashionable. He seems to be hot favorites for everybody, pundits, fans, everybody. My position is he's not done it yet in the Premier League. That doesn't mean to say he can't do it, but the Premier League is a different animal. It's a very savvy league. You play two or three games and everybody has studied you. They know everything about you. It's not easy to be a Pep Guardiola and metamorph yourself season after season, just like Alex Ferguson did. To be fair to him, Arteta has managed to develop, but why he has got away with it is that he's able to build his team rather than sustain a team. So certainly his change in footballing strategy came with the change in personnel that he's brought into Arsenal. Whatever's the case, Alonso he cannot be robotic. He's got to be savvy, he's got to be intelligent. And this is where the squad comes in. Chelsea's squad is far too young. We've got too many weaklings. You look at a game that Chelsea plays, if somebody goes down injured, it's a Chelsea player. If there's a 50-50 collision, the person that's been brought off on the stretcher is a Chelsea player. Why? Because they're young, they're physically, weak. And, when you have an 18-year-old kid clashing with a 25, 26-year-old man, 28-year-old man, there's only going to be one outcome. So we've got to address that. If we give Alonso the squad, then I think he has the tools to work with, but he really has to show he can do it. In my opinion, I don't, I can't. I Chelsea job is not an easy job. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the weak coaches. I have to give Enzo Maresca a lot of respect. He came with his way. Some of his way I didn't agree with, but he took the bull by the horns. He built a team.
He
Whether
understood, you could say, the weaknesses of his squad.
Yeah, he built a team, whether we like it or not. He built a team. He got the favor of the players on side, and it was only sort of before he left where he was having issues with the board that things sort of came off the railing. If he had been motivated, he would have still maintained that strength of squad he built in the first place. If Alonso can do that, then he's going to be very, very popular indeed at Chelsea for sure.
Yeah.
We're
I think
thirsty.
he will. And from what we're hearing, we're open to, you can say, signing players that will ensure he has what it takes to succeed.
We've
And
got to be.
I'd rather we not get any European football if it's not the Champions League. Even I don't want. Let us focus on the league next season. I think with him, if we make a few signings here and there, like one
Coach, where I strongly
defender, a
disagree
traditional
with
two,
that,
a left winger,
where
and then a traditional 10, I think
where
we could.
where I
Yeah.
strongly disagree
Go
with
ahead.
that statement is you're saying that we should throw the FA Cup. A
No, no, no,
trophy is a
no, 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 no.
trophy.
I'm not saying that. I didn't
And
mention the FA
well,
Cup. I want us to win the FA Cup.
well, then we go to Europe.
Yeah,
There's no ifs or buts about it.
but it's just a wish anyway. Yeah, but thank you for
It's
correcting me there.
it's going to be almost a mission impossible anyway. But if we can do it, we should do it,
And
regardless.
just like it,
I don't think Europa Cup football will be bad for this squad. I really don't. And for the new manager, I really don't. It'll give him the opportunity to blood some youngsters. It'll give him the opportunity to
maybe that's a
know.
way. That's a way to. That'd be a way to, you could say, to address that concern and not
Yeah,
stress. You could say all the squad. You could say for that competition, give a lot of use it as, you could say, as a
well,
platform to nurture the younger players.
just like Maresca did. I
Yeah,
think the Conference League helped Maresca in building his squad, and I think the Europa football will help this Chelsea squad. I really do,
I agree,
and
Rolly.
it would add to having another way to get to the Champions League next season. If they are successful with the Europa, not only is that a trophy, but that's a
Yeah.
ticket back to the Champions League. So I wouldn't scoff at that competition at all. I think we are a team that needs the extra games
Yeah.
because of the size of squad we hope to get. And the sooner we have a squad that this guy can work with, the better. I hope he comes. You know, I,
I think I agree.
what?
You make an excellent point there, and even Helgi in the chat agrees with you. I think I agree. Just the same thing Maresca did. You could argue he basically used that the Conference League at the time to nurture some players. Actually,
Oh yeah, and to learn his squad. He learnt a lot about the team through that competition. And although the Europa League is a stronger competition, but I think if Alonso comes, it will teach him a lot. Perhaps even more so than having the pressure of the Champions League.
yeah.
If you have a competition to blood your team and then go into the Champions League with a fully prepared and strengthened team, you can only benefit from it.
All right, Dante. Before we continue, we haven't actually addressed. I think we've had. Just give me Dante. Can you go ahead answering this question? I'll be right back in a few seconds.
Yeah, sure. I'm just to follow up on that as well. To you come back, with what Bobby said as well. Yeah, agree with that. And I was saying, and actually, the club was saying, Maresca did say it as well, that they thought they were 1 year ahead of schedule. If you remember that, they kept saying that. but we qualified right at the end for the Champions League. I think it would have been actually probably much more beneficial if we probably went straight to the Europa League at that second season and
Yeah.
not in the Champions League. I think that would have really helped a lot with progression and a slowly progression. That way, we qualified for the Champions League. We just jumped into the Champions League straight away, and I don't think that was expected, to be honest. I think they thought they probably would have finished around in European football, maybe just miss out, or maybe Europa League most likely, because I think probably most of us had us down probably finish around that Europa League position. So yeah, I think a little bit that came with a little bit early, and that I think that put a lot of pressure on. And yeah, I think that really our season a bit we didn't do quite well with that, and obviously Maresca leaving as well. But I think it would have been beneficial if we took that next step. It would have been after the conference, Europa, and then maybe Champions League. But we skipped that 1 year. And remember, we kept hearing Maresca said in an interview that came from the owners as well that they think we're 1 year ahead of schedule. So yeah, look, it's hindsight now, but yeah, I agree. I think definitely winning that FA Cup and getting Europa League. Europa is different from conference. It is much strong. It's much stronger, of course. So I think 100%. And I can't believe a lot of fans I'm seeing on X Bobby. You would probably hate it as well. They're saying that they hope we lose. These are Chelsea fans. Hope we lose the FA Cup because if we win the FA Cup, it's just giving Blueco ammunition, and they're not going to leave. What do you say to that, Bobby?
Well, I say they're just very. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crystal clear.
We know, the Chelsea fan base has a few people that are just short of some change upstairs.
well, these are pretty much all the protest people. Everyone that went to the most 80-90% of the protest people, they're the ones that say this. They don't think we should win. Don't forget they're having the protest at the FA Cup,
at
which
the
is a
FA
bit
Cup.
silly at
Yeah,
the
I mean,
final, which is so silly.
it's fine to protest, in view of where we are, but to say that we shouldn't win a trophy, I think is absolutely ridiculous. I'm very short-sighted.
I'd actually
People,
say Yakon wouldn't mind us getting relegated.
what?
Yeah, this
Just to
guy
prove a
highlighted
point,
his question. He wouldn't mind
just to prove a
us
Wow.
point,
getting
and to get
relegated.
Blueco out.
He
He was
says
saying,
it's for the greater good.
Well,
Yeah.
we do have them. I mean, I have nothing to say to these people. I want Chelsea to have victory. I want the ownership to learn from their errors. There's always scope to correct yourself. If you have such bitterness that you cannot allow somebody the opportunity to right their ways, then you're bad. You're just as bad as those ways you want to
100%.
correct. You've got to give people that scope to redeem themselves. Now, I'm not a Blueco fan at this point in time, but if they redeem themselves with what they do next season to at least get the first team back on track and to start to gnaw away at the huge debt and look at football things like building the new stadium and so on, then I'm all for it. I know they've made some colossal mistakes, but they've also done a few things right. We tend to forget that. We're world champions. That's something they did right. I think it got, I have to echo Kaveh Solikov from Sky Sports. He said it got to their heads. They won the Club World Cup, they got to the Champions League, they completed the European set, and they thought they'd arrived, and so
Yep.
that they didn't need to listen to
That's actually the
anybody.
most sensible argue, or you could say statement I've ever heard from a pundit with regards to that situation. Really.
Yeah, he
Like I
was
said, that
right.
jump, it was too much of a jump. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not really that. It's just it got to their head. It fed their ego, and they thought, "Oh, wow, our project is the bee's knees. It doesn't need any tweaking." And they did some suicidal things in the summer. Apart from João Pedro, I mean, everything else was very suspect. Of course, they did the Estaval deal earlier than that, but everything else was suspect, and everything else was born of this arrogance that they felt they had arrived. Well, the reaction of the fans, people walking out on games, and the insults they're getting from the stands, and as well as the poor results, I think should have taught them a bitter lesson. And if they show me next season that they're prepared to change, then I'm prepared to give them a chance. You know, that's what we've got. All this idea of, oh, we have to implode to get rid of them, I think it's an extremist way of looking at things. To what end? Get rid of them for who? You know, the project is has gone some way. We better hope they fix it rather than destroy it and destroy the club. So people say, no, they want us not to win the cup or they want relegation. With all due respect, I think they're very stupid people.
And Dante, before we get and Bobby, before we get to you talking about how many players we need in the summer, again, the chances, what you've seen so far, what are the chances of us getting Xabi Alonso to put pen to paper for us, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion can only be based on the rumors that I hear.
Yeah, and what's
And
out there, right? Yeah.
what's out there. And actually, there's nobody out there that's not saying he's on the radar. Everybody, Fabrizio, Ornstein, the guru himself, all of them, they've acknowledged that we're looking at this guy. If we have any sense and we do our homework on him, let's not make the mistake of the Enrique situation. If he's as good as Enrique, then get this guy. In my opinion, get this guy. If he's not, because he fits a profile, the club, the squad will respect him. He's a bit of a Galactico kind of coach, if you know what I'm saying. Um, you know,
He's arrogant. He's very arrogant. Yeah.
who, Xavi?
Yeah, he was as a player and as a manager. I've seen interviews, and as a player, he was very arrogant as well. Yeah.
Well, well, if he's good, there's nothing wrong with arrogance if you've
No,
I
got
mean,
you
it
need
the,
it.
comes with that territory of
yeah.
being good at what you do.
Mourinho was arrogant, and look at his record. Look, if he's good, it's all good with me. Will we get him? It looks that way, doesn't it? I mean, from all the noises, it looks that way. But, in football, you can never believe anything until you see them signing, or at least pretending to sign a contract. And have pictures taken, and they're in Cobham lifting up a shirt. Even the managers lift shirts up these days. So, uh, we have to wait and see. But from all the noises are showing that, at the very least, there's some positive negotiations.
True. Very true. Dante, your thoughts? Possibility.
Yeah, look, it's like Bobby said, all the credible, some of the journalists that are a bit more credible, they said that, we've started
Talking
communications
with his
talk.
camp.
So, yeah, so that tells you there's probably definitely something there. Now, like Bobby said, though, until the end, unfortunately, you can't be certain because, yeah, you can negotiate there, but there's one thing they don't agree on and then it's over. So, um, like I kept saying, the most important thing to get from Alonso is to get his view and his really suss him out, his team, his also his assistants as well, because that's important. Make sure that he wants to come to Chelsea, and like we said earlier, he doesn't have Liverpool in his heart, because he definitely would have Liverpool in his heart. Make sure there's no chance of that happening. Rule that out. Cover yourself, whatever contract in the contract. And if there's any sign, any little tiny sign that, it's looking a little bit that way or there's a possibility, I think you just walk away, because there's no point doing that, in my opinion, because, he will always go there. And like I said, next season's Arne Slot. If he doesn't start well, the first few games, I think he's gone. He'll be out if he doesn't start
That's
well.
because because by then he's had the time to have a preseason before the season starts with the players he has.
And Liverpool might, they, they're saying they're backing him in the press, and that they're backing him to be there next season, but you don't know. What if he loses bad the last couple of games, and he just loses those bad as well, and
And then they
just falls
change
out?
their mind.
That could change their mind as well. Exactly. So
And they have two players that won the Bundesliga with Alonso.
two critical players, yes, in Frimpong on the right as a right wing
And
back, and of
this,
course, like I said, Verts, the number 10,
Reds, yeah.
his most important position as well. So, yeah, he's got two guys there that he developed and made into stars. So, yeah, 100%. There's a lot of connection there. So that's the only thing that we need to do as the club, the directors, the owners. They need to really drill
If
that.
they want him, they should get it done because anything can change.
Correct. Yeah, get it done. But even if there's an inkling, like I said, that he's got a little bit in the pocket for Liverpool, let him go. Don't bother because that's just not going to work out. So, um, just my opinion on it. But I'm sure they'll look at it the same. I'm sure they'll be doing that. So, yeah. Other than that, yeah, I think it could get done if he's gives the go ahead and we all agree on the terms.
And
Helge made a good point at Leverkusen, for example. At Leverkusen, the ownership and the directors there, the coach doesn't have any control of signings or anything. They're very much very controlled. They do all the business. They do all the dealing, willing. They get the players that they suit. They don't buy for the coach. They buy for the coach has to mold them in that. They don't buy players for the
because they
coach. At
for their
Leverkusen. It's very
identity.
tough. Yeah, they're very tough at that. They've got a system in place and they haven't moved away from it for a long time. So, yeah, the manager basically doesn't have too much say. So he's been in that system like that. So he would know, and he's still got good players, and he still did what he did. So that shows you that he can mold those players. So that shouldn't be too big of a problem. But of course, he'll probably want a bit more control now where he's in his career.
Right.
Um,
Just
so
quickly,
we'll wait and
according
see.
to
But
yeah, go
we don't
ahead.
know yet. Wait and see
According
till
to
we.
Yakan, Yakan says how many new signings will they give Xavi in the summer, assuming he takes the job. Any number less than 6 is anti-progression, according to you. That is your
That's too many.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is your opinion. But in my opinion, I'd say even there are some strategic, we could say 3 strategic signing could make a whole lot of difference. 3 strategic signing could make a whole lot of difference. That's my opinion. But you're entitled to feel like we need 10, 26 players at least. That's up to you. I don't think we need 6 players. I don't think we need,
No.
in my opinion, if we're going to make changes, even if we want to start shifting towards having more physical players, I think it will be a gradual process. We don't have the luxury of risking making that many changes again. Practically,
Well,
you'll
it
be
depends how you
starting
look at a
afresh.
coach. Because we
Sorry?
have already coming in, we have 2 players already coming in,
Yeah.
basically.
So,
So that's 2 already there. So
mhm.
if he's saying if he's adding those or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, I look at it more like 3 or 4 signings, to be honest, max. No more than 4, because of the 2 coming in, which would be like a 6. But as just signing, yeah, 3, 4 max, no more than that.
I agree. I agree. We don't need
6 is
more
too
than that.
much of a change. It's way too
We
many.
don't need to find ourselves struggling
Maybe
to make too
even
many
just
changes.
3.
Yeah.
One centre backs and 2 people to cover the left hand side, and that's it. You can get enough physicality from bringing in 3 players with some strength about them.
Well,
Yeah.
actually,
That's
yeah,
it.
I even forgot about Penders. That's the 3rd one already coming in as well.
Yeah.
Penders, Wenda, and Emega. That's a
Barco.
striker,
Yeah.
Barco.
obviously a winger, and you got a goalkeeper as well. So
Barco is
that's
coming.
3
Isn't
players
Barco
coming in
coming?
already. So on top of that,
No,
that's way too much.
no,
Barco
I
is
think
coming.
no, I don't think so. What they might do is just get a centre back. That's it. If Kenda's coming and
Depends on the
Omega,
manager, Bobby. We
yeah,
talked. I don't think you were on, but he does play with 2 10s. He plays with 10s mostly, Alonso.
And
So
we
I
don't
think
have any
that would be a
traditional
very
10.
important position for him, a 10.
yeah. Well,
No, Bobby,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna sign more than we probably will sign up to 3 players or at least 2.
well,
And
three, three.
here's why what could lead to us not signing 3 players if they get a 10, which is usually how you could say we phrase the sort of profile we're looking for. We're almost always looking for players that are capable of playing across all 3 positions in the front area. So
Yeah,
if we
it'll
get a
So
depend on
10,
outgoings as well, coach. It'll
yeah.
depend on the outgoings, who they can get out as
Yeah, it
well.
depends on the outgoings too. But if we're getting a 10, it'd be a 10 that's capable of playing on the flanks too. We don't sign players who are you could say specialize in playing in just one single position. These days we don't do that anymore.
No.
Yeah. All right, let me catch up with what we have here. Yakon, thank you for that question. I'm going to skip quite a lot because, yeah, we've been streaming for 3 hours and 1 minute. We'll be running off soon. Yakon didn't like the praise, but unfortunately, that era was under Roman. Okay. Again, you were very articulate, and I appreciate you and hope to have you on. Again, anytime we're live and you want to come and just let me know. And I think I might add you if I get a chance. Hopefully, I remember to add you to the panelist group. Um, more thanks to you, brother. Liverpool fans in general are fuming. They want a slot out, and Xabi Alonso is right there, and they're calling for the club to fire Slot and hire Xabi Alonso. He would also get the best out of Witt and Frimpong, two players that played under him at Leverkusen. Whether they do that, honestly, I don't know. Dante,
Can
what
I just say
sentiment?
something
Yeah,
about
go ahead.
Slot? Slot had a lot of new players coming in over the summer, and they were very, very high quality players. And it seems very clear to me that what Liverpool fans are overlooking is that this squad is bedding in. I think they'll be far more improved next season.
They will.
Um, now, whether he's around for that long enough, I don't know. But I can't see, they're not an unstable club as we are. I can't see their ownership just getting rid of Slot like that because the fans suddenly decide they prefer having an ex-player. Football doesn't work like that, really.
But we did know they were going to struggle, Bobby. We did talk about that at the time when
We did.
people were saying once they signed Isaac, they were going to win the league. And we said, no, that's too many changes.
Yeah, a
That they would
lot of
struggle.
changes. And a diminishing Mo Salah. He's having a readjustment with the squad. Now, if he doesn't do anything next season, then there'll be questions. But I think this season he deserves the pass he's getting.
Yeah. He does deserve that. Yeah, the time is getting. But if they feel like Xabi Alonso will do better than him at the club, they might decide to pull the plug just because they have the opportunity now. And if they miss it, it might be difficult for you say for them. But I don't know. Dante, what centre backs do you have, and who do you have on loan coming in, and who is in contention next season? Dante, that question is directed at you.
Yeah, one Schlotterback for me is number one is my favorite centre back. Is a prototypical modern centre back with being tall as well and very physical as well. So he's got passing, he's got everything, speed. He's 6'4", 6'5", nearly. I think 6'4", I think so. Very quick, very strong as well, very well built. So he's my type of. I think he would work wonders in this team, and left-footed, but can pass with the right foot as well. Really good, but predominantly left-footed and can play that central centre back or on the left centre back as well. So yeah, he would really, really, really improve us a lot, in my opinion. He would be one, and he's at that age where he's just 25, where he's gonna start going into his prime in the next couple of years. So defenders take a little bit longer anyway. So he fit the squad well. That age, very experienced, obviously German international, and Dortmund captain and starter there. So yeah, he would be my number one choice by far, in my opinion. So and that second one, I mean, look, if we change the system to a back three, then yeah, like someone like maybe Bastoni can help that as well. He does that pretty well.
We're not
Apparently
getting Bastoni. He wants
his
Bastoni.
price has gone down quite a bit apparently, and there's a high chance that he's getting sold. So if you can get him for that, 50 million, 40 million, 50 million, he would be a very good centre back as well in a back three system, because that's where he's at his best. If not, then no. So yeah, those probably two, but Schlotterback by far number one. Yeah, he's by far my number one preference if we can get a centre back.
All right, I don't have a preference for this right now. You know the name that I will mention if you push me to, but I'm not saying anything. I'm
All right, guys, I'm gonna go to
I'm gonna
sleep.
read a few comments, then we'll
All right,
call it a
Bobby.
day. Bobby, go ahead. You were saying something.
Sorry, I'm gonna go to sleep, guys.
All right, brother.
Good
All
night.
right. By the way, Leverkusen board owners are similar to Chelsea, that the manager doesn't have much of a say in terms of transfers. That's actually the culture in plenty of clubs right now. When he came there, they basically said, "Work with what you've got, who we get." And so I think he actually prefers to let other people deal with that, and he will work with that. But he will tell you the profile of players he is looking for. Of course,
Yeah, that I
Tuchel
think.
also Tuchel is also like that.
Yeah, I think that was because that was sort of his start of his managerial career. So there's a big difference now. That's that was 3 years ago. That's when he started really his job. So I think then, but I don't think he would. I think he will have a bit more say now where he is in his career than 3 4 years ago.
So you don't think that, okay, that'd be a constant thing? Okay, all right. I will take it will take Xavi. It would take. He says it would take Xavi 2 seasons to show real progression if he inherits this squad without proper backing, which, judging by historical events, it's very unlikely. Jesus Christ, you're so cynical. It's not funny. I res- I respect your opinion, but I just have to tell you the truth, really. You don't feel like, yeah, we're not going to be able to achieve anything as long as they still own the club. I think that's how I read it. I could be wrong. Alonso also doesn't get too up and down. He's very balanced. Won Champions League with Liverpool and Real Madrid. Elite mentality, respect from the players. If he speaks, the dressing room will listen. It's really as simple as that. All right, I can't read everything. Dante, anything else you want to say? I'm just going to say bye to people. I'm tired. It's
Yeah, no, coach, wrap it up. That's
9:50
fine.
p.m. for me.
It's past your bedtime. You need to get to
Yeah,
bed.
I should go to bed. And yeah. And I want to say thank you to Yakan for joining the conversation. Thank you to Wyclef Barish. I think Wyclef is still topping the live quiz table. He has 60,088 points, followed by Ty 57,000 plus, Jeremy 48,000 plus, 31,000. Jeremy, the second one entry for fun. Victor has 10,000. 373, and I have 7,000 something. I think I always remain at the bottom there. And if you win, if after 4 weeks, 4 quizzes for each 100 questions, if you top the leadership board, you get a custom Chelsea kit. That I would like Dante to enter for fun. If he comes first, he will be regarded as seventh. All right.
I'm not
Thank you
Arsenal. I
to
told you.
sorry.
I'm not doing an Arsenal. No.
And to find the link, go to chelseaperspective.com, click on live quiz, and then you see the link. Thank you to Wycliffe Barish there. Thank you to Helgi for joining. Thank you for Jeremy for being part of the conversation. Thank you to Victor also, who was part of the conversation. And if I miss your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end. We rise again. We rise again.
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the home. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Yeah. Ooh. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stays even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold.